You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Fly ball left field. It's back. It's still back and gone for Yelich. Feeling the Southern California weather, and Yelich goes deep for the 8th time this year. 2-1 is in the air. It's on its way, and it's gone for a grand slam. 2 out. Fly ball to right field, hit pretty well. Abreu going back, turning, watching, and it's gone. Opposite field home run for Charles McAdoo, his second big league homer, and it's 1-0 Blue Jays. And he flies one to deep right center field. Back goes Harris to the warning track, looking up, and it's out of here. Brett Pate with a grand slam. Ronnie's pick to click, and he clicks for 4 runs. Oh, wow, Ron. The Mets' 3rd grand slam of the season.
Good morning. Welcome in Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Nail Medical. That's Austin. I'm Ravi here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. Austin, how are we doing this morning?
Good. It was a late night last night, but I'm good to be back.
What?
I had to just drop off some clothes to a friend, so.
I'm confused.
What do you mean?
Why do you have your friend's clothes?
No, he needed some clothes that I had to give to him. That's why.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just
Okay.
dress clothes stuff. That's all it was. So,
because people your age don't have dress clothes?
No, because he flew in from Dallas last night. See, now you're going to make me tell a sad story. See, this is what you're going to make me do.
It's a funeral, isn't it?
Yes.
God damn it.
Dickhead.
I'm an asshole. My bad.
That's right.
Yep, that's all me.
What'd you think it was? You thought it was going to be like some funny, like one-off story?
I was very confused about why you were giving clothes to your friend.
No, that's all that it had.
Honestly, I was borderline afraid he was like homeless, and you were just like, "Hey, here's a suit for an interview." I didn't know what was happening there.
No.
Could have been for a wedding.
It could have been for a wedding.
Yeah, it could have been for a wedding. Jeez.
On a Monday night. You're right. It could have been. Most weddings happen on Tuesdays. That's correct.
It is the summertime.
Are we just saying things that are happening?
It is a younger generation. I don't know.
Today is Tuesday.
It is August 11th.
We are in football
August
season.
11th.
It is
It's football season.
You know, it is.
Weddings happen.
We are in
Weddings
Omaha.
happen.
We are in Omaha, Nebraska.
These are all things that are true.
Well, actually,
Speaking of things that are true, like I come up the stairs today.
Gross.
Because
Sorry.
I was.
Whoa, it's too fast. My bad. That's on me.
Sorry.
My bad.
No, I come up the stairs today. I'm walking in, and Shane's like, "You didn't take the elevator, right?" And I was like, "How do you know what's happening with the elevator?" Like
He was like tracking the steps.
yeah, and so I usually do take the elevator because I hate taking stairs and I don't like walking.
Yeah, every time I try to make you take the stairs, you throw a big fit about it.
I do. I don't like accidental exercise.
I'm just trying to make you live a little bit longer. That's all that I want.
I have no.
Sorry, I want more time with my friend.
I have
My bad.
no interest in that at all.
You have no interest in living longer?
No.
I'm maxed out at 70. I'm good from there.
Yeah, 70 might be high. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, 70. That's a long time from now, man.
Oh, I told
Robbie,
my
how old are
fiance.
you?
I will be 39 tomorrow.
I think we got a good 10 more years.
Of Ravi? Or us?
Of Robbie.
Was that a threat? I think we've got a good 10 years. What are you going to do? You're going to take
I'm
me
not going to
with
do
you?
anything. The lack of stairs is going to do it all.
I'm gonna be
He
honest.
plays tennis. He got second in the Cornhusker games in tennis.
That's what I'm saying. I get enough on purpose exercise. I don't want accident. If I get exercise, I want it to be intentional.
Okay.
It will be by my own volition. I don't want to be forced into it out of inconvenience. That bothers me a lot. It always has.
Calling walking up a flight of stairs accidental exercise is wild.
No, I do the same thing.
Okay,
when
to
I
be fair, not all stairs are built the same. But
That's true.
I'm going to make fun of him for not climbing up a singular set of stairs, a one story of stairs to get to the second floor of this building.
Fair.
That's odd.
Yep.
But if you have to climb, I would even say, for me, if it's 4 or more, I'm looking for elevators. I want to go further than that.
I'll be
I agree
honest.
with that.
So going from ground floor to here, not the worst. If I have to go to the third floor, I'm going to be pretty salty about not having an elevator. It's that second set of stairs that really gets me.
Okay.
I'm much more willing to go down the stairs than up, just for whatever that purpose.
fair.
You know, gravity helps me out there, so I don't
Going
feel like
down is much easier than going up. You know,
many people say.
not as many. I mean, more people probably would like to claim that they climbed up Mount Everest and went down it, but
Well, you have to go up to get down. So
That is true. Wow, that's deep.
I know.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
The more you know.
No, but this was at like at Indian Creek with the golf tournament. I was every time I'd get here, I'd be like, Sash, do we have a cart?
That is
every time.
It's a downhill walk.
I know.
To
but
hole 17.
I like to set the precedent that I'm not going to walk up the hill.
But it's the land of milk and honey at the bottom. You just have to walk your way down.
No, I got super excited once I got down to the bottom of the hill, but I get there faster with a cart.
I was very upset that they never served Euros again down at hole 17.
We're big
why did
Euros
they do
guys.
that on the very first day and then never again? They should not do that.
We're big Euros guys.
We have to set the expectation when we have longer events. This happens at state basketball, happens at different media events. Put your worst food first and your best food last.
Yeah,
because if you progressively get worse as the event goes on, I'm not going to have as much fun.
I really need you to help us rally on the last day.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Food. I think maybe you start, I don't know, because you don't want to get off to the precedent of people not wanting to eat the food there either.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think you have to start kind of strong.
That is fair. Yeah, okay.
Because if we went into hole 17 on Thursday, and the food was just terrible, which it was not. It was not.
It was never bad.
Very good.
Let me be clear.
But we're big Euros guys, so starting with Euros is a strong start for us.
Agree.
But you start with a universal, hey, everybody likes this, like the pizza. Like you start with the pizza. This is very safe.
Yep.
Everybody's going to enjoy this. You got to start with something strong.
See, that's a good idea. If you just go neutral and you say pizza, who's not going to like this? Then you're good.
I can smash a pizza.
And then Friday you have the handheld slider sandwiches or whatever that they had, and everyone just goes, okay,
pretty good. Not bad.
It's good. Like the meat was excellent. Nothing wrong with that.
And then weekend you start ramping that thing up. Like Saturday, Euros.
Yep.
Sunday, something else good. I don't know what, but
wow, shawarma. I've never done anything to deserve that.
You're right. You're always the utmost professional, and I appreciate that about you. Apparently, we're not. Yeah, we're still not doing internet here. That's fine.
That's fine. It's fine. No, we're mine's back up, but we're just waiting for everything to get going.
It looks good on our screen.
That's good
for the podcast listeners. Coming up on the show today, it is Tuesday. We've got Tuesday. Mitch Sherman coming up at. Oh wait, no, we've got Michael Severe first. Excuse me, the director of the Jet Foundation. He'll be joining us at 8:00. At 9, we will have Mitch Sherman from the Athletic, and then at 9:30, we will have Lincoln Arneal. He is a volleyball writer for Huskers Illustrated as well as a podcaster for Volleyball State. He will be joining us as the AVCA preseason poll dropped yesterday, and we will talk to him about all things Nebraska volleyball as well as the national perspective as well.
I'm very excited to talk to Lincoln about just the AVCA poll in general. I think that there are just some interesting ones. Texas A&M got a lone vote, and you don't see this very often in just preseason polls in general, like even college football. But A&M, the defending national champion, they have to replace a lot. They're a top 10 team. They're number 8, and they just got a single vote for first place. Someone just threw that in there.
That is pretty deep, and that's
right.
Usually you get like 2 or 3 teams at the top have a couple of votes, but A&M at 8.
Just getting one.
That feels like the A&M beat writer was just like, we're the national champs. We're number 1 until we say different.
Well, it's a coaches poll, so I don't know. Like,
maybe it's the SID.
Maybe that's right.
I forgot it's the coaches poll.
Yeah. But it is. That's what I like about the AVCA is that really the poll doesn't change all that much throughout the season until there's like dramatic movement. But there have been some times when they'll just throw random votes out. So inevitably, whoever voted for A&M is probably going to keep voting for A&M just for the first place vote for a long time. Yeah, they'll probably just keep it for, until God knows, like probably the middle of September. And they're like, okay, they lost to Creighton on Sunday. It's time to give it up.
They've lost 8 straight. Probably need to give up the first place vote. No, but Nebraska's number 1, as many people would expect, with an overwhelming majority of the first place votes. And Creighton is 13. Expect big things from Creighton as well this year. So
yeah, no, good stuff to talk with Lincoln about. I teased this to you before we got started. Do you want to play name the Heisman long shot that I put a bet on?
Ooh, yes, I do.
Okay,
hold on. Let me bring up the odds. So I have,
I'll give you some hints along the way.
Okay, Heisman odds. Can you give me? Are you willing to give me like a cutoff in terms of what you consider a long shot?
Or
is that too much information?
So that's a good question. So I wouldn't say that he's like the ultimate dark horse by any means, but when I was thinking about it yesterday, I had some drive time on my way back and forth from Milford. But I was thinking about if they're going to give the Heisman Trophy out to a player, it's likely a quarterback. So which quarterbacks do I like? And I kind of went through the list. And I started to think of it in more of moments and which quarterback
could have Heisman
moments more on, or maybe have a little bit more of that Heisman narrative, I guess, that kind of builds up.
Okay.
So that's where I started, and I just really like the number. As I look at it now, comparative to the rest, maybe not a long shot necessarily, but definitely on the outside looking in of the favorites.
Ooh, okay. I am going to say John Mateer.
Not John Mateer. Okay, so this guy is a 2-year starter.
Okay.
At the team that he's currently at, I should say.
Jaden Maeva.
Do you know what made me want to do this?
What?
So what I just said was the Heisman moment, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a chance that he crashes and burns and USC completely falls off the wagon in this 6-game stretch. But if he plays well, and honestly, even if he doesn't play well, if they just win these games, I think he gets in the conversation no matter what. So they play their non-conference, San Jose State, Fresno State, Louisiana. Start Big Ten play at Rutgers. This is where this 6-game stretch starts.
Okay.
At home against Oregon. At home against Washington. On the road at Penn State. On the road at Wisconsin. At home against Ohio State. On the road at Indiana. I mean, if they go 6-0 in that stretch,
honestly,
how is Jaden Maeva not going to be a Heisman at least favorite at that point?
Read the stretch off to me again.
Oregon at home, September 26th. Washington at home on October 3rd. At Penn State on October 10th. At Wisconsin on October 24th. At home against Ohio State on October 31st. And Indiana after a bye week on the road in Bloomington.
You know, honestly, even if they go, I would say even if they go like 5-1 in that stretch, I think you're in a really good spot. You have to beat probably 2 out of the 3 of Oregon, Ohio State, Indiana, but you can take a loss to one of those and still be okay. Especially if you go 5-1 and he plays well in those games, and then you finish 11-1, 10-2, something like that. He'd be in the conversation then.
And then just looking at some of the games that he played, actually, weirdly enough, his very worst game against all Big Ten opponents last year was against Nebraska, where he went 9 of 23, only 135 yards, threw the pick to Andrew Marshall, no touchdowns on passing. But everywhere else, he averaged about 280 yards passing in Big Ten play in some of the bigger games. So I guess depending on how you felt about Michigan last year at this time, he finished 25 of 32, 265 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Against Notre Dame, he went 22 of 42, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That game, though, did get away from him because I think he got most of his yards late in that game. Against Iowa, 23 of 32, 254 yards and a touchdown. He has a tendency to throw a lot of interceptions against some pretty decent teams. That's also notable in the Oregon loss. He was 25 of 43, 306 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But again, if they go, like you said, 5-1, there's no way that USC is not playing in a certain way that he's not making the plays for them to win the games. So I just like that it's a long enough shot for me that I'm willing to throw something in there. And what was it?
I got plus 2,500.
Yep, that's what I have too. Yep. So I just thought to myself, you know what? Why not? We'll see what we can do.
Let's give it a go.
Right. And honestly, it's one of those that you're going to get better value now because if he starts playing well in that stretch of the first 2 games.
Yeah, those numbers will come down.
Yeah. So take it right now. So that's I'm not going to say, oh, he's my Heisman winner by any means, but I do like the fact that I could have a ticket that has a USC quarterback winning a Heisman trophy after 2 or 3 important games. And then I could look ahead and just be like, okay, well, we'll see what we do with this.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at some of the better odds on these. There's some of these guys where I don't like Darian Mensah with the third best odds to win the Heisman.
I can't believe CJ Carr is the favorite. I understand because they're going to win a lot of games.
Yeah, so I don't really know what to do there. I like CJ Carr is very good, obviously, and I think Notre Dame's going to be good. And I think they're just I don't really know. Honestly, I'm surprised Chambliss isn't the favorite. He is stylistically a guy that if Ole Miss doesn't fall off the way I think they will, stylistically, Trinidad Chambliss is going to play in a way that is going to be very attractive to Heisman voters.
Yeah, and I agree. He's not only going to have the box watchers that just are going to be able to say, "Oh, listen,
look at all
look at all these stats, look at all that sort of stuff," but also, like you just said, if they're winning games, it has to be through Trinidad Chambliss. There's no other way. You saw
what he did in his run through the playoffs last year, just superhuman efforts, right? So the argument against it would be, can he sustain that for an entire season? Totally fair question. And
also, would Quan Lacey take any from him?
Yeah.
But I still think everything goes through Chambliss.
Has to.
Yeah.
And his numbers would be insane if they are, say, even 10-2.
I think CJ Carr and Julian Sayin are somewhat in the same argument, too. That
Sayin
I don't know if
a little more sense to me.
I just don't know if Sayin's going to get as much credit as I don't even know if he truly deserves it just because of the talent that's around him on the roster and everything else.
And Jeremiah Smith's going to leech votes from Julian Sayin for sure.
I think we're going to get into a situation by the end of the year that if Ohio State went 11-1 or if they're obviously in the college football playoff, any of that stuff, even if Jeremiah Smith has a pedestrian year, he'll get these legacy votes of people saying, oh, college football legend, future Hall of Famer, all this sort of stuff.
Lifetime achievement votes.
Yes, right. And I mean, we've seen that before. Andrew Luck went in to the Heisman race and it was a finalist after a pretty good season, but there were plenty of quarterbacks that played pretty much up to his level. He just had the biggest name.
Most of these early favorites feel like they'd be very boring Heisman winners. I call them the Mark Ingrams of the world, right? The Mark Ingram Heisman is he was very good that year. It's just kind of a meh.
Yeah.
Like CJ Carr, I feel like is a meh Heisman, right? Dante Moore, I feel like would be a pretty meh Heisman.
Right. Yeah.
Julian Sayin would be a meh Heisman. Hoover, Stockton would be pretty just meh. Sam Levitt.
I can't believe Sam Levitt's that high. That's crazy.
Now, the guys that I think would be interesting Heisman winners, so Jeremiah Smith, because he's not a quarterback.
So every non-quarterback, essentially.
Yeah, but I mean, Chambliss would be an exciting winner. I do think Mensah, if he wins it, would be because he's been pretty exciting. Arch, I'm not totally sure he could go either way because he does have the ability, even with his legs and stuff like that, to be pretty dynamic. But it really depends on what it looks like this year. So he could go either way. Maeva could go either way. Mateer would probably be a pretty exciting one.
Can I ask you one that's way down, in that 4,000 range that you're getting to, or even 5,000? What do you think about Rocco Becht?
He'd be a super boring one. He doesn't
if Penn State goes 11-1 or 10-2. Does he get in that conversation?
Probably, but I don't know. I watched a lot of Iowa State because I like Matt Campbell and Rocco Becht is. I mean, I'll bring up his numbers for you. Rocco Becht is not as eye-popping as people would think he is.
And I would agree. I think that he is more in the Curtis Rourke conversation than he would be in the Fernando Mendoza conversation.
That's probably fair. Yeah.
Because if they get to a playoff, a lot of people would point directly to their schedule.
Mm-hmm.
They'll say, we have a super experienced roster that's coming from some years of success in the Big 12. You just translate that. You're not having to beat the best of the best in the Big 10. You win 10 games or whatever, unless he has outlandish numbers, which he's never had.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I feel like, did he have a big turnover bug last year? Am I remembering that right?
I'm bringing up his stats right now. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I just don't think. I think Rocco Beck's an interesting one because he's in that category of a lot of some of these guys that are in that plus 5,000 territory when it comes to like Bear Bachmeier. You could even go to like Sam Levitt's in there. I think Gunnar Stockton's in there. Not the flashiest quarterbacks, not guys that are going to have these outlandish numbers or guys that are going to completely wow you with their play or have some signature play, but they're going to win a lot of games. And how do you credit them with the wins that they get comparative to maybe the play on the field compared to the other individuals that will play?
Hot Danger says, when you say Trinidad Chambliss, you have to say it like a rich old Southern lawyer. I'm
not going to do that.
I
you want me to say like John Candy or what? Like,
I'm just imagining like basically Colonel Sanders saying Trinidad Chambliss.
I think we should all try it.
You want to try? Go ahead.
I said we all should try it.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, please start.
I gotta get like
you got to get in the right mood.
Yeah, I gotta figure it out.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to get my best foghorn leghorn going right now.
I'll say.
Trinidad Chambliss. There it is. And now coming out as a quarterback, Trinidad Chambliss.
I
can see you wearing the bolo tie, like as it just like
you have to mispronounce his name. That's the part of it.
You just sound like an announcer from like the 40s.
I thought you did pretty well.
You sound like
I feel like that would sound more like this. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like that's where you were kind of leaning into a little bit.
Lean.
No, it's okay. I have to do the I say.
That's how you get it.
That's how I got into the voice. No, so Rocco Beck, he didn't have he's basically the same number of turnovers as he always has, but his yards came way down. His touchdowns came way down. He only had 6, so he was 16-9 last year. So his ratio wasn't very good.
Yep.
And he had been 25-9 the year before. And he was down like 2,500 yards. He's never been like a highly efficient guy. He's always right around 60%.
How many games did you play last year?
He played 12.
Oh, wow. That's
16 touchdowns in 12 games is not great.
There was a point last year where I just gave up completely on Iowa State.
And he's not a runner. I think he had under 200 yards last year. He did have 8 touchdowns, so that's something. But I think a lot of those are short yardage. They're not like real dynamic.
Right.
Touchdown. So Rocco Beck being that high, I do think is interesting. And actually, can we bring up the Rigo? Can you bring up the Big Ten quarterback rankings that Josh Pate put out? Because Rocco Beck is on here, and I actually think this is really interesting.
Okay. So this is from Josh Pate, right?
Yeah.
And I think he just posted this like Sunday night or Monday or whenever it was. And I found this incredibly interesting. Pate later reiterated or replied to his own tweet and said, this is based on what he believes the quarterbacks will finish as, which I actually respect. I think that's the right way to project your quarterbacks.
Would assume that he did. I mean, that's how I would.
But some people would say, hey, this is who I think is like the best coming into the season. And then after, the games will wrap up after 12 games, everyone just goes, well, when we entered the year, this is who I thought, whatever.
So here's where I sort of struggle a little bit with this list, right? So, hey, Rocco Beck is at 6 is pretty high. I mean, having Rocco, whatever my issues with Damon Williams are in terms of whether or not he's going to be totally bought in or not.
He's a good quarterback.
Him being below Rocco Beck is kind of wild. Him being below Bryce Underwood, also wild.
If you injected True Serum into the Penn State coaching staff right now, and you said, hey, 1-for-1 trade, you can get Damon Williams, but Rocco Beck's got to go to the West Coast.
100%.
They make that trade.
Yeah, they would take Damon Williams. I mean, Bryce Underwood being that high, I get he's projecting, but I feel like I've been the only one that has talked about, hey, I think Bryce Underwood might actually be good this year. So to have him at 5 is, I understand having him on the list, but having him at 5 is kind of wild, especially when you've got, I would have Nico higher. I think Nico has a chance to be better than this, and we've got more evidence of that. And the Bryce Underwood thing, I was a pretty staunch defender of Dylan last year, because I didn't understand why guys like Lenore Sellers and DJ Lagway were getting the benefit of the doubt when Dylan wasn't. And Dylan ended up having a better year than those guys for whatever other faults we felt like we had about him by the end of last year. Still had a better year than those guys did. And he didn't make this list for Josh Pate last year either. So the Bryce Underwood thing, again, I think he could be very good. I think the marriage with Jason Beck as an OC can be very good. It seems like some logical inconsistencies here. But I think Nico should be higher. The one that I really don't understand being on this list ahead of Anthony Calandria, well, there's two, Rocco Becht, and then Colton Joseph.
Not Malik.
Let me look up. I think Malik, it was good enough in the Big Ten last year that I don't have a huge problem with it.
So my thing is, again, if you're projecting how a quarterback race will finish, better or worse, like it or not, we will always evaluate quarterbacks on how many games that they win.
Fair.
And if Maryland does not make even bowl eligibility, if they win 4 games, can Malik be a top 10 quarterback in the conference?
No.
That's what I'm saying. No. So what win total does Malik Washington have to get to for him to end up on this top 10 ranking?
Minimum 7, right?
I don't think Maryland can't win 7 games this year. I don't think.
I don't have them bowl eligible. So I think Loxley might be fired. Probably not by Nebraska, but I'm not ruling out. That's only that's 5 games.
Right.
Like very well be where I don't know where their bye week is because that usually
I think it's like right after Nebraska. So if I remember right. Yeah, somewhere in that
Nebraska
range,
very well could be Mike Loxley's last game as the head coach of Maryland. So that would be a huge factor in keeping Malik out of the top 10.
And you can make the same argument with Colton Joseph too. And I know that you want to make a comparison between him and Calandria, especially.
The problem I have with Joseph is he was playing a lower level of competition and did not have. I don't think had significantly better numbers than Calandria. I think he's. I'd have to bring Calandria's up right now, but he was at under 60% completion percentage, 2,600 yards, 21 and 10. Now he did have the 1,000 yards rushing, and let me see, 13 more touchdowns. So we'll call it 34 total touchdowns, 10 picks, and 3,600 yards of total offense. That's very similar to the total numbers that Calandria put up. Because I believe he's at 35 total touchdowns, 25 from passing, 10 from rushing. He had the 9 interceptions, 8 or 9. And then I think total he had right around 500 yards rushing and another 3,000 some passing. So like very comparable yards, total touchdowns. And I mean, he wasn't playing in the Sun Belt. Like he was playing in the Mountain West with a much better, I think much better competition. So
he had 4 games under 150 yards passing.
Who, Colton Joseph?
Yeah. And one was at Indiana. He ran for 179, but he threw 3 picks in that game. In a game that they only lost by 2 scores, which pretty impressive for the opening game of the year.
Yeah, I mean they gave Indiana all they could handle, especially early. I don't know. Colton Joseph is kind of giving me like John Mateer vibes last year, where we're sort of enamored with the running, and we forget that at some point you're going to have to play catch for this to work. And I don't know. Like I think he could be good. I think putting him in the top 10 is wild. Like
now, if Pate would have changed that from like quarterback to playmaker or something like that, right? And then you obviously would have to include, different positions and that sort of stuff too. Would you have a bigger issue with Colton Joseph being ahead of Calandria? I think that there's an argument that you could make that Colton Joseph might be a better, I don't even want to say like athlete necessarily, but because of his ability to run and his instinctual ability to just tuck it and go rather than stand in the pocket and try to maneuver, look downfield, because Calandria will do that more. He'll run as a use for, broken
honestly,
plays, that sort of thing.
I think that sets Calandria up better than it does Colton Joseph because, I mean, I'm assuming that the Big Ten has better athletes on defense than the Sun Belt does. I don't think that's
who's to say.
I don't think that's a hot take, right? So if you're just a one read, take off and go guy, and you're not a Bryce Underwood level athlete, like that might not. That 1,000 yards might kind of shrink down to about 600, and then all of a sudden we're having a very different conversation about your passing ability.
That is true. I mean, how different does it become when your rushing yards don't go from 15 yards per scramble or designed run to 6.
Yeah. And
how much more difficult is it when you're forced into more passing situations? When 3rd and 4 isn't necessarily a, hey, quarterback power, we can just get, 4 yards, move the pile that way.
100%. And maybe Colton Joseph really is that level of athlete, and I'm not giving enough credit, but I don't think we have enough evidence to do that at this point and say, oh yes, he will definitely be able. I mean, we saw John Mateer struggle with this and get hurt because stylistically, that's a harder thing to do in an SEC or a Big Ten than it is in a broken whatever Pac-12 that John Mateer was playing in and in the Sun Belt. Listen, I love the Sun Belt. Listen, big
Sun Belt, Fun Belt,
big Fun Belt guy. But I'm not taking Old Dominion's schedule and being like, hey, this is a 1-to-1 to the Big Ten. I'm not even doing that with Calandria, right? Like, I think there's things he brings to the table. I also think Calandria is in a situation where with his offensive coordinator, you feel really good about that marriage. I don't necessarily feel that way about Wisconsin. And again, when you're making really big jumps, and I do think it matters a lot that Colton Joseph hasn't played power conference football before, and Anthony Calandria has.
Yeah.
Calandria was at Virginia. He knows in general what this is supposed to look like. Old Dominion, yes, I get they played Indiana last year, but doing it week in, week out versus getting up for the first game of the season is a very different thing.
So his 2 games last year at Indiana and then at Virginia Tech, 11 of 22 for 96 passing yards, 3 picks. He did rush for 179 yards on 10 attempts against Indiana. Against Virginia Tech, which they won 45-26, 16 of 22, 276 yards, 2 scores, 8 rushes, 63 yards, and a touchdown as well. So, yeah, I mean, even in the Indiana game, both of his touchdowns that he scored were on the ground. So he scored both of the team's touchdowns, but threw 3 picks. And in a 2-score game, I mean, you give up one less of those. Who knows where the game ends up being? And that ended up being eventually the national champion. Against Virginia Tech, which wasn't a great team last year, you have a much better performance.
Famously fired their coach.
Very much so. But then there's a couple of other concerning games on there, too, that his completion percentage for the season was below 60%. On the road, multiple times, he threw at 50% or below 55%, which is not great.
Against Sun Belt competition, by the way. Like, that's the point here.
One of these is at Marshall, which is just 266 yards on 54% completion, 1 touchdown to 2 picks, 12 carries, 50 yards, and a touchdown. Just a grinded out game that they lost 48-24. So, I mean, you can look at the Old Dominion, you can say, you know, where was his talent around him and everything, but when you are the offense, you have to be able to do something about it. And a completion percentage below 60%, I think, is more telling than anything.
Yeah,
right?
Like if you can't complete 60% in the Fun Belt, like what are we talking about in the Big Ten here? Like I really struggle with Colton Joseph. The projections of Colton Joseph, I think he could be a kind of big boom or bust type guy for Wisconsin, and I don't think gets you in the top 10. Now, listen. Josh Pate has not always been super accurate with these. Rico, do you have the SEC one from last year?
So it's actually a good thing.
So this could be a positive that he is not included here because DJ Lagway, famously very bad.
This is from last year.
This is from last year's SEC preseason rankings. And thank you to Will Compton for putting these two right next to each other for us so that we could do this. Arch Manning struggled for the first half of the season really badly. Lenore Sellers really struggled. Garrett Nussmeier, bad. John Mateer, bad. Austin Simmons, benched and bad. Jackson Arnold, bad. Like we're at like a 30% hit rate here.
We got 9 and 10, good.
Listen, Pavia, nice. Marcel Reed had a nice year.
Taylor Green wasn't a bad choice.
Taylor Green was okay. It's a tough top 7 though. It's a tough top set. The one that I really didn't understand last year, as much as I didn't love DJ Lagway and all this, and I gave him a ton of crap, and Arch Manning, I gave him a ton of crap. The one that made the least amount of sense to me was Austin Simmons because he just had never played.
Yeah.
He basically had just never played football, and everybody was like, yeah, but he's so smart. And I was like that's like we've never had smart guys be bad at football before.
Isn't that also pretty telling that Simmons is no longer with his coach that started him at the beginning of last year?
Yeah.
He could have quite easily picked him up in the portal. Like he's very available.
I'm going to go get Sam Levitt.
And Sam Levitt. Yeah. I mean, and I like Sam Levitt, but there's also been kind of an expiration period on him too that I think the LSU quarterback situation just very odd to me. I just don't, of all the players that they could have got.
Well, I mean, famously, they were trying to get DeMond Williams.
That is true.
Right?
That is true.
I don't know if it was, I think a lot of it might be they thought they were getting DeMond Williams and they kind of got left holding the bag after Washington's like, no, we're going to sue you.
Turns out you got to stay, buddy.
And I think they were just like, well, Sam Levitt's left.
Yeah.
Although they very well could have still gotten Austin Simmons, I'm pretty sure. So their situation got really strange, but it's just an example. Maybe it's a good thing Anthony Calandria is not on this list.
Why aren't you dancing on the grave of DJ Lagway anymore?
Honestly,
Is that over?
It's almost just a little sad for him at this point. Like I know this is hard for you to believe, but I do feel like remorse in my heart
for all the bad things that you said about him a year ago.
No, because I was right about all of them. I feel bad that
he threw 4 interceptions against LSU.
No, I laughed diabolically.
That was a great text thread that we had right before.
5? I think it was 5.
It might have been 5, but it was right before the Bud Crawford fight.
Yes.
And so everybody was watching that game right before, and they're like, "Oh my god, this guy's terrible."
Like I tuned in when he was at like 2 interceptions, and every subsequent interception, I'm just laughing like a psychopath.
The negative points for Tim that day were.
That's right. Yes, that was a wonderful day. I remember that's what I was texting you guys about was that I was like, oh man, this is just delicious to watch Tim's team just completely nuke on Saturday Night Football.
It was not great.
My favorite.
I think he was one of just 2 or 3 quarterbacks that ever went negative during the year.
I think my favorite one, I think it was interception number 4 when he just like blindly threw to the sideline, and it's like. DJ, what are we doing here, bud?
Like, just got to make a play.
It was unbelievable.
Do you think there's a chance that he could? I don't want to even say resurrect. I don't even know where people stand with DJ Lagway right now. Like someone, if he left to go to the draft right now, someone is taking a flyer into him. I bet just because of measurables, because of hype, because of all that sort of stuff, right?
I don't know. Our sample size is pretty bad.
It is bad. It
is
at
this point because famously his numbers weren't good as a true freshman.
But he's not Pavia. He looks like a quarterback. Like someone is going to take a chance on all the measurables and everything else that comes out. I guarantee he'll probably test super well.
Talking, I think like a day 3 chance.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying like first round by any means. Yeah, I wasn't saying anything crazy.
Like,
but
I don't know. Like I've seen Anthony Richardson go like 3rd overall. So like or 4th, whatever
fair.
it was. So
how good does Baylor have to be with DJ Lagway?
Yeah, that's my next question is what is his ceiling now? Like, can he, because I mean, at the end of the beginning, right where we were, not here, we were at the bar, but last year at this time, we were talking about Lagway, or people were talking of Lagway being, oh, well, if he leaves to go to the draft early, then he'll be this projected overall pick, and he has all these measurables, and he's got a cannon of a right arm, and all that sort of stuff, right? But does he have that same ceiling now if he gets back to where he was at Baylor? Or is he just one of these, like, almost Sorsby types where he becomes a college football quarterback and is just kind of like stuck in this purgatory. And then when he tries to get to the league, he'll just be stuck as a day 2 or 3 pick.
I'm trying to think of a good analogy for Lagway, and I'm struggling to come up with it because I think a lot of people imagine that he's more like he's athletic, but he doesn't run the ball.
Right.
I mean, he's got 1 career rushing touchdown. 1. Like that. I get that he can move a little bit, but he doesn't use it in a way that's effective in terms of quarterback play. He was 16-14 on touchdown interception ratio last year, which ironically enough, and I brought this up last year because people looked at, they're like, oh, he only threw 9 interceptions as a true freshman. His interception rate was almost 5%. 5% of his passes turned into interceptions as a freshman. So that number actually did go down a little bit last year, even though it threw 14 and led the SEC in interceptions. But I just don't think he throws the ball well enough. And so I don't know what version of this you look at and go, okay, now in his 3rd year in a power conference, now maybe the Big 12 is just that much easier defensively that he's able to do some things. But I don't know. Like it would have to look the way people thought it was supposed to last year, I think, for his draft stock to be reestablished as a potential first rounder. Like he has to be in the Heisman conversation, I think.
Does he give you any Matt Barkley like reminders almost?
That's an interesting one. Barkley
it's a little different though because Barkley was a projected first overall pick,
and he was highly productive.
Yes, I mean, but he had all the characteristics. He was like a 5-star quarterback coming in. He was the USC savior. He was the guy that everybody pointed at and said he's the guy who's going to bring us back.
You know who it is? Because Matt Barkley had very good years.
Yes,
like whatever we think about him as a pro prospect, whatever. Like yes, he was a little turnover prone, especially as a senior, but like he was 36 touchdowns, 15 interceptions.
Yeah.
Like, the interceptions are high, but like he's very, very productive. The closest one I can think of is DJU.
That's a good pick. Yeah. Because so
incredibly highly touted, and you just kind of kept waiting for it to happen. And he transferred, he had an okay year at Oregon State, which maybe that's his Baylor year. Maybe this is his Baylor year for DJ Lagway. Then went to Florida State and was terrible again. And so, like, like I'm getting DJU vibes from, and not just because they're both named DJ, but both 5 stars coming out, went to high-powered programs and just never really figured it out. And people kept waiting. Oh, maybe this stop. Oh, Mike Norvell's a quarterback whisperer. Maybe this will, and it just never happened.
And then DJ had the one super notable performance against Notre Dame. And everybody waited for that to come back, and it just never showed up.
Like, oh, there it is. Nope, that's
which is almost different because I don't remember. Has Lagway had his breakout game, or has everyone just talked it into existence?
I think as a true freshman, at the very end of the year, he had a couple of good games.
Played well. They beat Ole Miss or something to knock them out of the playoff, if I remember right. And he didn't throw 5 interceptions in that game, so everyone was like, "Wow, future first rounder. This is Cam Newton."
He had a decent game against Florida State to end this last year. They won 40-21. He had 3 touchdowns and only 1 pick. Granted, he only threw for 168 yards.
But also, Florida State was 2-10 that year.
That is
so.
Yeah.
Well, was that last year or 2 years ago?
This was last year.
Oh, so
last year. Okay, last year.
Yeah. The Florida State's been ass though. Like, so I mean, that's
probably it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that he's had that notable of a game.
No, I think it was the freshman year against Ole Miss. I think you're right.
Well, they beat Texas this year.
Again, but I don't think it had anything to do with this year because by the point that he had thrown 5 picks against LSU, everyone had already given up. Like nobody was following up on them.
And then 2 games later, they lose to Miami 26-7. Then they beat Texas 29-21. He throws for 298, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Honestly, that feels like a Texas problem at that point.
I don't remember this.
It is funny that we just a Texas problem.
Yes, it is. Well, and also that's why it's hilarious when Steve Sarkisian's like, well, this is why we can't play Ohio State because we got held out of the playoffs. No, because you got beat by a dog-ass Florida team.
I think at home, too, wasn't it?
That's why you got – and then didn't they get boat raced by somebody by like 25 as well? Like somebody that wasn't very good? Like this Florida? Is why you didn't make
No, Texas.
Oh, they were just bad.
It's like this is why you didn't make the playoffs, Steve. Not because you lost to Ohio State or Notre Dame or whoever they played. I think it was Ohio State, right?
Yes, they played Ohio State last year.
Like that's why you didn't make the playoff. Not it's because you got beat by a bad Florida team.
Yep, 29-21. They
got boat raced by Georgia 35-10.
Oh, jeez.
Got boat raced by Georgia.
They almost beat Kentucky. Or I mean, they
almost lost to Kentucky.
Almost lost to Kentucky. Almost lost to Mississippi State. It's like almost lost to Vanderbilt.
These are bad football teams. Vanderbilt's pretty good, but like these are bad football teams, Steve Sarkisian. This is why you didn't make the playoff. And he's like, well, quality losses.
Gave up 37 to Arkansas. You had to score 52.
Arkansas was a good offense last year.
They were a good offense.
They
could not stop a cold, but like they were a good offense.
They're gonna beat.
But hey, they beat Sam Houston 55-0.
That counts. That's a big win. That's a big win.
That does count. I'm trying to catch up on comments here.
I'm going to say plenty of comments. By the way, I built out part of my big board. I'm like,
did you
piecing it together as best I can?
TK,
have you worked on it at all?
I've been mentally. I haven't like.
Well, you guys are putting big. I'm going in blind.
See, that's the thing is, I was like, maybe I'll just go off the cuff, but there are so many people I don't want to leave someone out. That's my issue. Is I don't want to overlook someone, and unfortunately, I'm going to give away a piece of my big board right now. Kobe fits in many categories. I don't know if you knew this. Very many categories.
TK
I just want to give Kobe to Ravi though, because they don't like each other.
In 3 years, Hoover's thrown 33 interceptions, and a lot of his interceptions are horrible decision making. For everyone else, he is who he is.
And see, that is one of the problems with Hoover is that his decision making sometimes is very late. He is very late to throwing the ball, especially when he tries to go back to the middle of the field. He's not much of a scrambler, but he kind of has a little bit of the issue when it comes to, I don't know, like kind of almost the Dylan Raiola for like a local experience where it's just holding on the ball a little bit too long and trying to throw it back. But I think that Hoover in a system like Cignetti, and you get an offensive system that forces you to kind of throw the ball a little bit quicker. You don't have to make all these like roundabout decisions by yourself. He's also not the best player on his team, I think necessarily, which helps you out as a quarterback to be like, I don't have to make every single play. I can just kind of settle myself in. I don't have to rely on myself to make every single play. I think Mendoza was a great player, but I think that there was a lot of other really good pieces on that Indiana offense last year that took pressure off of an eventual Heisman Trophy winner.
I think the Hoover thing's super interesting. I'm in a place where I'm hesitant to question anything that Curt Cignetti does.
Yeah.
So like that makes it really challenging, but I agree with you. Like Hoover, I thought was a weird choice.
Well, we thought he was a furry last year, so that's why.
I'm still not convinced that it's not. I know that
I
one.
think it's a real picture.
Allegedly, we thought he was
I know
furry.
that one particular photo may have been AI generated, allegedly. But I still have questions. I just have questions.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It seems like maybe, I don't know, he seemed pretty happy to be there. It's hard to say.
It's really hard to tell.
It's really hard to say.
Truly, who are we to judge? Well, however you blow off steam in the offseason, who are we to judge? Some people gamble on their teams. Some go to furry conventions. Which would you rather have as your quarterback? Oh man, I might rather have the gambler.
That's a pretty good question.
Yeah.
Which decision making do you question more?
Gambling on your own team.
Gambling on your own team or being a furry? Publicly being a furry?
I guess it depends on what animal you are.
No, it does not matter. It does not matter what animal you are. Are you a furry? Is that what you're asking? Are you soft-launching your own furry?
No.
That's what you're doing, Rico?
No, sir.
Rico's like, well, certain animals are more respectable.
Well, I'm just saying, if he's a dog.
No, Rico, don't get out of this.
I'm going to be honest. That's one of those situations never mind.
What kind of suits do you have at home, Rico?
I have none.
Yeah.
Those seem expensive. They're like mascot suits.
How would you know
how expensive they are?
They're like mascot suits.
No, how would you know?
Interesting.
Like, how do you know?
Mascot suits are expensive.
So you've looked into this.
So did your
in the mascots? Yeah.
Did your interest in becoming a furry start with buying mascot outfits, and then you realized that the furry suits were better?
He's like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah, they're like, nice and warm.
I feel like it would just be hot and gross.
He came in dressed up as the Loper one time, and his wife was like, "Oh hey, what's up? Oh hey, what's up?"
And then bang, kid won.
I wish I was Louis the Loper. That'd be sick.
Do your kids have furry suits too, or is it just a you thing?
I have no furry suits.
It's not genetic. It doesn't pass down.
I'm not Josh Hoover.
That's one of those situations where having that dog in you is not a positive.
Do not. This is actually keep the dog inside. Let's not let the dog out. This dog does not walk around. This dog doesn't go shopping. This dog stays right here.
This is an inside dog, not an outside dog.
I'm going to be honest. I had a conversation about this with someone recently about
furries.
Yeah, because they were. I don't remember how this came up. Oh, I think it was Josh Hoover related, actually.
Probably.
And
naturally.
And I was like, I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm a pretty like live and let live type of guy. But I've literally had people dressed up as furries in downtown Omaha try and like talk to my dog as if they were a dog. And I was like, hey, bud, I'm sorry. My dog doesn't really like people that much. He's a little shy. And they're like, don't worry, I'm a dog. And I was like, no, you're not, because I can see your fucking face. You're a human and you're talking. Knock it off.
This is the most political you've got on this show.
Like, that's not political. It's like my dog doesn't like people and you're clearly a people. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, knock it off.
Do you guys know how expensive they are?
How expensive are
they?
Well,
I know you just opened up your favorites tab, so it's not going to take you that long to figure out.
Also, apparently, it's not called a furry suit. It's called a fursuit. One word.
I don't like that.
Not at all.
Between $1,500 and $45,000 for a partial suit, and $35,000 and $9,000 plus for a full body suit.
Oh,
$9,000.
I feel like I'm in like
handmade,
where it's just
handmade, custom tailored.
It's like cosplaying.
That's aggressive, man.
It is.
I don't.
What would I spend for $9,000
on those cosplay things?
So you're saying for next year at Pinnacle Bank Championship, instead of a $10,000 giveaway, we should just give away a fursuit?
Ben, I was trying to tell him. I was like, listen, like if you don't get out of my dog's face, like you're gonna get bit, and I'm not gonna take you to the hospital. I'm gonna take you to a vet.
Yeah,
and we'll see how that goes. Like, you just let me know which vet you want to go to, and then we'll finish this there.
I think I've said this on the show before too, but my brother lives in Alaska, and he's a PT out there, and he told me he's big into hunting and fishing and all that sort of stuff, and he moved out there. He was like, I thought it was going to be around, mountain men and people like me and all this stuff. He goes, no, just the weirdos live out there. He goes, 90% of the people I walk by are like furries or just like, running away from their parents or all this other stuff. And he just goes, what? Why? Why are people like this? He was like, I just wanted to go hunt moose and do that sort of stuff.
Nope. We got to be careful.
Kenny says also, Gen Alpha, stop carrying around stuffed animals and grow the F up.
That is true. That's something I also I see that more in public where people I'm opposed to people bringing blankets in public where blankets are not allowed. Like that's just odd. It's just an odd thing. Like if you're walking through Target, why do you have a blanket? There's no reason for that.
The only
very cold in my car.
A little sense is like a movie theater because sometimes it's very cold in there.
Yeah.
But I just
like dress warmer.
Like jackets exist.
Yeah.
Sweatshirts exist. What is this necessary?
I don't want you to take a blanket and a pillow to a movie, though, because you're going to fall asleep.
Certainly,
if you bring a pillow, it's a little different.
What are we doing with a pillow?
Yeah. Bringing a pillow is you're just paying to take a nap. Why would you do that?
Keljam wants us to know that it's called a fursona.
Oh, good. Thank you, Kel.
That's information I never needed.
Yes.
Never even a little bit.
Keljam and Rico are on the same Discord channel, I assume?
Yeah.
Hey, can you start a Discord like sub channel that's furries only or something like that, or for the fursonas?
Austin's fursona.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Just fursona.
I can't get in anyway, so I won't know what's going on over there. I won't know.
Just a fursonas channel. I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's unreasonable to be like, hey, let's not wear our sex clothes in public. Is that fair?
You're just saying it out loud.
I am saying it out loud. I don't think that's like.
Now you got to be careful now.
Like if you would do that at home, that's fine. I don't care. But like leave my dog alone. Number one, that's the first and foremost.
Well, they were a dog.
No, they were not. They could speak English.
You should ask your dog if they are cosplaying as a dog.
Maybe your dog's actually a person.
Shadow, are you a furry?
Be like, listen here, you little shit. Start talking to me. I know you can talk.
What do you know?
But like, let's wear public clothes in public and leave a private clothes at home.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think that like any other version of that would be you'd get the police called on you.
That is fair. That's a good point. Good argument.
Like when Rico goes out in his GIMP costume, people get really uncomfortable.
Well, they just assume he's remaking.
We took a left turn.
Stop.
We took a wide left.
They think he's remaking Pulp Fiction. It's not a big deal. It's fine. That's Ving Rhames. That's what they say. And then they go, wait, I have that scene mixed up. Hold on.
You have gone too far.
Why was that too far?
It was an example.
Why me?
Why me?
I'm too new on the show, Rico. Give it a few weeks.
You were very quick on the free outfit prices. I just assumed that was
I Googled it.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's because
know this.
Maybe it's because it takes.
But you know it now.
So do you.
Nope.
And honestly, both of you and your obsession with dogs. I mean,
okay, obsession with dogs is much.
Listen,
that's not the intent of what you're trying to say, and you know that.
Yeah,
maybe
you met my dog. In fact, you were a little too handy with my dog. Why were you?
No.
What's going on with Rico? What's going on?
You see the excitement on Robbie's face every time there's a dog.
Yeah, because I'm a lover of animals,
and he rescues dogs from despair.
And I have a great big heart.
And it's interesting. Talk to real big dogs downtown.
Nope, I scold those big dogs downtown.
Get out of here, big dog.
Did you shake their hand or pet them?
You get away from Shadow.
You have to pet BLT.
Get away from Shadow.
That's the only time that it's inappropriate to tell another man big dog. Do not let them have that. The only time. Every other experience, you throw a dart, it lands somewhere not on the board, you just go big dog and you dap. You see a big dog in downtown Omaha. Not today.
I'm crossing the other side of the street.
You got to.
I've
never seen this in person.
It's only happened. I've only had like an actual I've seen them a few times. I've only had somebody actually try and talk to one of my dogs once, and I was like, this is absolutely not. I'm out.
So, Rico, just so you know, for wedding attire, we may say suit. That means not fursuit. If you could leave that at home, that would be very nice of you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. If you need to borrow one from Austin, apparently he has that service available.
I do.
He's got the expensive ones.
Only for visitations, though. So
yeah, he only funerals, no weddings. Sorry.
People forget that this segment started very, very sad. We made our way through.
We did. You know, Robbie, when you eventually pass away because you don't do accidental exercise.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hire that guy in the dog costume.
Ooh,
my wife would murder you.
Great prank. What if we get this in writing early? We bury you in a fursuit.
Absolutely not.
Great prank.
Yes,
I'm getting cremated first of all, but
in a fursuit. No one will know. If you were cremated in a fursuit, no one will know except us.
But we would
That
know.
would be a great prank.
Which is the proper place to wear a fursuit where no one knows.
Bang. I agree.
That's the point of the whole segment.
They're just like, look, I mean, Ravi didn't do a lot of accidental exercise, but this urn seems a little heavier than usual.
Whose hair is this?
What's going on here? Let's take a quick.
Yeah, we got to reset.
Take a quick
we
break.
got way off.
Michael Severe will be joining us.
Hopefully, he doesn't have any opinions on this.
Just a few minutes. We should ask him what he thinks is
I'm sure he does.
which is a bigger red flag for your quarterback: gambling on your own team or potentially being a furry. All the hard-hitting news coming up next here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I mean, Victor was a text from V9, in the middle of the portal. He was down there in Miami, and he sent me a text like, "Hey, I'm training here with one of my buddies. He's in the portal." I didn't know Vic, and he played a lot of snaps at the FIU, and obviously those are good passing leagues. Like you see a lot of stuff, you see a lot of speed. And when V9 says, "Hey, this guy's one of us. He's a dog. He's going to do X, Y, and Z," I'm going to listen to it. So we, Addy did his studies on him. Pat Stewart did his studies. They liked him. We were able to get him here. He was here all spring. He's one of those guys that's getting big and strong. Like we tested in the spring, he ran 4.31. I mean, he's a fast human. He's got Florida speed, right? So he's out there competing, and I think he'll be a factor for us. He'll compete to be a player in the secondary. He'll compete to be a player that helps us on special teams.
Well, you're absolutely right. You don't replace kids like that. What you try to do, in my opinion, is you try to make that group strong. Mm-hmm. And, and not that they weren't last year, but, anytime Darian had the ball in his hands, he had the chance to take it to the house. But, we've got some good receivers coming back again. Chance Kinman has some experience coming back. And then you also have Rear Washington, that has a North Dakota offer. He's very talented and did some really good things for us last year. And then we got to have some sophomores that are, that are going to be juniors now, step up and make some plays. But we feel really good about that group. We really do.
Yeah.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Mail Medical. That's Austin. I'm Ravi here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We are joined now by Michael Severe, the director of the Jet Award Foundation. Michael, how are we doing this morning?
Sound like you guys were talking about urns, like dead people, like ashes when I came in?
Yeah,
that what it was?
Yeah,
that was the part of the conversation we were talking about for sure, Michael. Yes.
There were a lot of things. There were a lot of things we were talking about. I do have a very important question to ask you, though, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this. What hobby could your quarterback have that would concern you the most in terms of their overall decision making, but something that isn't necessarily like illegal? You're just like, I don't know about that, man.
So before you said illegal, I'd be concerned if, pedophilia. I'd be,
well, yeah.
Before you said illegal, let me see. Well, with the way our politics are now. So I'd say.
Good start, Michael.
Thank you. I would say probably I'd be concerned if they were really into like giving people pedicures.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I have this, the 50-mile march is coming up on the 22nd. And so one of the emails they sent out was they were trying to find extra people to do foot care. And I was thinking about the people who aren't podiatrists that volunteer to actually do foot care. And I started thinking in my brain, and I was like, I don't know about that person.
So you mean on your work computer, Michael, you were like Googling like people who like feet, or what were you doing?
No, they sent an email out from the 50-mile march group saying, hey, we're looking for people to volunteer for foot care. And I was thinking there are people out there that are saying yes to this request. And I kind of wonder about those people who aren't podiatrists. They aren't professional foot people, but they want to be handling people's feet who are marching 50 miles in the hot weather with shoes and socks on, which is, I think, kind of gross for even my own feet. So I think if my quarterback was into that, I'd be like a little worried about him.
So like you have to reply to that email like really strategically if you want to help. Like you can't reply too fast, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. Like the email comes out and you're like, absolutely, sign me up.
If an email comes in 3 minutes and it says, I'm very excited about this opportunity, you have to be a bit hesitant.
We also may have found Rex Ryan's burner in that case.
Exactly. If Rex Ryan is on the march, that would be awesome. He's like, I'm only doing women's feet. I'm only handling them. That's all I'm doing.
Oh,
by the way, did you just recently get a pedicure? Cool. I'm good with you. Yes. Rex Ryan. Yep.
Yeah, I'll be honest. That seems like the worst job on the 50-mile march. That seems like a pretty bad one.
That's a pretty bad one. There are people that have to drive the RVs, and so people poop, right? So
really,
the RV smells horrible when you go in the RV because there are people that go in there just. Personally, I have never. In my 4 years of doing it, I've never had to poop during the march. There are people that do. And so that RV is just horrible smelling. So the driver of the RV, that's not a great gig either. I don't know. That's a problem.
Man, that's a tough. Would I rather be the poopy RV driver or the foot handler? I don't know, man. That's pretty.
There's horrible things that happen to people's feet. I've seen some horrible. I saw a guy's nail in his big toe go through his other toe. Like through it. It went in there and it was like blood going everywhere. I used giant blisters. I've seen all kinds of heat rash that looks incredibly horrible. Looks a little bit like if you took cancer and you put it on the outside of the body, it looks like that.
Oh, Deadpool. Yeah.
Brutal. Yeah, exactly. It looked horrible. And so driving the poopy, I might, you always can like get some stuff you can spray.
Yeah. Like crack the window or something?
Yeah,
like
crack the window. You have Axe body spray, that kind of thing. I had that book. We had that book for the boys. Yeah, I remember that book. That was a good book.
It's a Rico classic.
That's a good one. In terms of furries, right? Furries. I remember when I learned what one of those was. I was watching. I love CSI. It was my favorite shows. The Vegas one was my favorite one. My son loved the Miami one with the stupid glasses guy. But I love the CSI one in Vegas. And they had an episode where a guy dies after going to this furry convention. And the person had put poison on and they were licking the person's outfit. And that's how he died. He was on an episode of CSI.
I also learned about it from TV, but it was from an episode of Entourage.
Oh, I don't remember that episode.
Yeah, Turtle's trying to find some lady to have relations with, and she wants him to be a furry with her, and he's like, I can't do it, I'm out. And of course, Johnny Drama's like, I can do it.
I can. He's gonna take that hit. Johnny can take that hit. Johnny can take that hit. Have you ever seen the comparison? So these are real people, you know. All of them are, and they were either in Marky Mark's group or they were in another group. I think it was Donnie's group or Marky Mark's group. And so if you ever seen the comparison of the real people compared to the actors they got to play them, they look real. I mean, they look like the exact same person they picked to be an Entourage who the actual real person was. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I actually really like that show. So I'm very familiar with the lore of Entourage.
Lore of Entourage.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so Michael, to get into football, Ian, my good friend, Mr. Severe, so good to see you.
We are not good friends.
Just really appreciate.
We're not even bad friends.
I'm just glad we're friends. That's great then.
If friends means something different in your language.
Can we talk NFL football first? Do you want to get there, or do you want to start with football?
I can't wait for preseason football to officially start. I mean, that first game was great. Best game Carolina will have all year. But I will definitely say that I'm very excited about, because I think this year we're going to have more scoring. So, the last 3 years, scoring has dropped off. Defenses have done a lot of different things. Rules have changed. I think this year the NFL's like, dude, we're making some more money. The offenses are going to explode again. I think we got some quarterbacks that can make some plays, more mobile guys out there. I think we're going to have a huge scoring rebound this year. But that's just my thought.
Okay, so that's actually where I want to start, is the Hall of Fame game, because the report came out that even though Haynes King was injured on that final play, he's expected to make the 53-man roster, and they're going to use him in a Taysom Hill-like role. You're a Saints guy, and obviously Taysom Hill no longer with the Saints too. Is that realistic? Is that something that you could see even with this new evolution of the offenses in the NFL? Is that something that's realistic, or is Carolina just staying in the past?
The guy next to you can relate to this because he is either former power lifter or how that works, ex-power lifter, however you want to say it. Taysom Hill could squat over 600 pounds. Taysom Hill could put 750 on a sled, and he could push that sled. He was a freak athletically. All of his spark numbers are just off the chart. I love Haynes King, made money off of him at Georgia Tech, big fan. He is not Taysom Hill athletically. He's just not. There's 1% of the population that's what Taysom Hill was athletically. To be able to do what Taysom Hill did, take the punishment he did, and he still got hurt. He's a special guy to be able to do that. I don't think there's a lot of guys out there that can do what Taysom Hill did. Now, if you're talking about doing it on a limited basis, we have a couple of trick plays, but to actually line Taysom Hill up at the up back on punt kicks, right? Put him as the fullback, tailback, tight end, wide receiver, quarterback. There's only one guy that really can do that. Since Slash back, with the Pittsburgh Steelers and Cordell Stewart, there haven't been a lot of guys that can do that, but Taysom Hill was special. I wouldn't do that physically to Haynes King.
Michael, it's sticking with the NFL here for a second. Are you a believer in the Kansas City Chiefs bounce back, or
is that a ninja baseball player on your hat?
No, this is a Florida State Seminole on my hat.
Oh, it's an Indian throwing a ball. Okay.
It is. Yeah, it is. Okay. Wow. Yeah. It's a
Severe. You're just playing like race roulette right now, or like what are you doing?
It looked like a ninja at first, but I see it now when I get closer.
Yeah, we got the glove, and we got.
I see the glove. It was that thing coming off the back. I thought that was like a mask, but I see it's his headdress thing.
Yeah. Yep. Correct. Are you a believer in the? Speaking of Native Americans, are you a believer in the Chiefs bounce back year, or are you a little bit more skeptical about what they've got going on?
Here's what I'm excited about, Ravi. I'm excited about the fact that in game one, when Patrick Mahomes is out there playing quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, I am going to collect $100 because I made a bet that Patrick Mahomes will be back for game one of the season. And so I'm excited about that. And the person who made the bet is probably not excited about that. But I believe, there's Adrian Peterson, there's Jerry Rice, and there's Rod Woodson. Guys who came back early and were ready to go for whenever, less than 6 months. I think of Patrick Mahomes being that, and this is even more time than that. So I'm excited about him coming back. Do I believe they have a bounce back? I like the fact what they did with their run game. Fan of that. I think they needed to go out and get somebody that they could count on. They did that. Their defensive line, I have some question marks because you do have some age coming in. But I think they did everything they needed to do. They made moves in their secondary. They moved guys out they were going to have to pay, drafted guys who could play the position early. And Patrick Mahomes is going to be healthy. So, yeah, I believe that I'd make them the favorite to win the West. And the West is deep, right? I mean, outside of the Raiders, all three are going to make the playoffs.
That was going to be my question is does it concern you about how good the rest of the West has become?
Not really, because I know that Justin Herbert is, as the narrator would say, not always going to make the best decisions. And so I'm not worried about that as much. I know the Raiders where they're going to finish, even though I think, Shane, they're going to be better. It's going to be fun to watch. They got a lot of talent. I'm looking forward to seeing Kirk Cousins start the season as your quarterback. But I would say
that'll be real good.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of anybody else in that division. As much as I like Peyton, Sean Payton, I'm a fan. I want him to do well. Brought the Saints to Super Bowl. I think they take a little step back just because of the schedule they had last year compared to the schedule they're going to have this year. So I probably would make the Chiefs the favorite. Are they the betting favorite? Are they like plus 175 or something like that?
In the West?
Yeah, are they the favorite?
I think so. I think the Broncos are second.
Yeah, I would have the Broncos. That's the order I would have. And then I'd have the Chargers with the guy who's not going to make great plays all the time. And definitely going to get injured and going to have some weird contraption on his body because he got hurt. You ever notice that? He had like the elbow thing. Then he had the big thing on his hand. Yeah, I feel bad for that cat.
You just got to follow the Phillip Rivers model where you're just adding like elbow pads and different parts to your body everywhere that you can go.
Outside of that ACL year, I think this is right. Outside of that ACL year, I don't think Rivers missed any games, though. Did he? Like throughout his career, he had that 1 year where he had the ACL, then he played, and then he came back and played as a 75-year-old.
So the AFC is Chiefs plus 160, Chargers plus 190, Broncos plus 225. So
that's got to be the closest one, right, Ravi? That's got to be the closest one in terms of the top three.
I would think
NFC West?
Less than 50 cents? That's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, the NFC West would be the only other one that I could think of that would have that level of teams that would be close in comparison. But yeah.
160, 175, and 190?
160, 190, 225.
Okay, so 60 cents difference. Yeah, that's pretty close.
Maybe NFC North. Let me see here.
Are the Bears the favorite in the North, or is it?
No, Lions are back.
The Lions are the favorite. Okay,
that's interesting.
Plus 170, plus 225, plus 305.
No, see, that's a bigger gap than 60 cents. Yeah.
West is a bigger gap. It's plus 100 Rams, plus 205 Seahawks, plus 305.
What about the South? I'm guessing it's the. Is it?
So that.
Is it Tampa?
Yeah,
Carolina
it's Tampa.
Saints.
Tampa plus 170, Saints plus 270, and Panthers plus 310.
That's a bigger gap too. So yeah, that's tight, man. It's a great division. All three should make the playoffs.
That is, I think, by far the
not in the South. I was talking about the NFC. I wasn't talking about the South. It would be.
Why can't you just be brothers in arms being in the NFC South, Michael?
I would put three teams from the South making the playoffs at plus 1,700.
What about the college football playoff?
None of them are going to make the college football playoff.
Michael, what about taking last year's Super Bowl matchup? And I know you weren't excited about it and obviously didn't love the game itself between the Seahawks and Patriots, but I think that there's a lot of questions, especially on the Patriots side, all of the offseason stuff that's, that went about with Vrabel and whatnot.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one of those two teams to make it back, just with everything that they have to face in their respective conferences, which one do you think could make a Super Bowl repeat appearance?
Well, it's got to be the Patriots because I look at the West and that's again a competitive division. Feels like a more competitive division than the AFC East to me. I believe I don't care about the offs. Here's what I know about professional athletes: they don't give a damn about really anything. As long as they're getting their money and their wife / side piece / third piece is fine, they're fine. And so they don't care about what's going on with verbal. They don't care what's going on with Vrabel or verbal stuff either. They don't care about any of that stuff. And so I think that's going to affect them in any way. I could see Drake May have an even better year because I think the offensive line will be more solidified than it was last year. You had two rookies on that offensive line last year. There were times where they played like rookies. I like what they did overall, the skill positions, and Vrabel's going to have a good defense. And so I probably would pick the Patriots. Do you guys agree with that? As much as I hate the Seahawks, I would it seems like that'd be a harder run for them.
Yeah, I feel like generally speaking, I like the Seahawks better as a team. I think their organization's like better well built. I don't know if you can, and I hate doing this because he just won the Super Bowl, but like Sam Darnold's not the quarterback that I would be like, oh, hey, I'm gonna hitch my wagon to him for the next 2 seasons combined. But the NFC West is just so intriguing to me because I think that it's great top to bottom, but you never know what you're going to get with injuries in San Francisco. I think that the Rams are going to be phenomenal, but there's something weird telling me that they're a bit too top heavy, and I don't like them starting all of this travel in Australia the way that they're going about it. Yeah. And if they get off to a bad start, do things just kind of rupture and just go south from there? Because you bring in Aaron Donald, you have all these big names, you just paid Myles Garrett, you made all these big trades, you pushed every single chip in. If you start 0-2 because you lose the first game and then you come back sleepy and you're not able to win that one, how quickly does that disintegrate? I don't know. I think that they're a great team, but I'm afraid that they're too top heavy to be able to compete all the way through 17 games.
Yeah, you answered the question when you said Sam Darnold. So I'm with you because even he won the Super Bowl, but this dude still led the league like in turnover-worthy plays, right? I mean, he still did the fumble stuff, and he still did things that they overcame because of how great that defense was and because the running game really got hot. But I would, if I out of those two, I don't think either one of those teams make it back to the Super Bowl, and I think one of those teams probably doesn't make the playoffs because that's the way it works in the NFL in terms of the loser of the Super Bowl, or sometimes even you'll have a slump from the winner of the Super Bowl. So I would pick out of those two, I'd take the Patriots, but I hate to see it. Who would like to see the Patriots ever get back anywhere?
Yeah, I also think we kind of underestimate how much Kenneth Walker helped he got
hot during the stretch, man.
Like he
won fantasy leagues, right? I mean, he did.
And that's a huge help to a guy like Darnold who needs a little bit of help as well. Do you have a candidate? We almost always see a worst to first in the NFL. Do you have a worst to first candidate that you're excited about?
So there's normally 2 a year, right? We've been averaging 2 a year, worst to first, ever since they added the 7th team into the playoffs. So we've got that extra one. I believe the Saints finished last in the South.
They did. So I have a few candidates. Saints are one of them.
Saints would be the one.
Part of that is division specific, but
they were one game out, right? You had a 3-way tie, and then you had the Saints.
Yeah. So it's not. I mean, they only
Thank
lost.
you for winning Week 17, by the way. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
They only lost the division by 2 games, and they were 6-11. So they'll have an opportunity, especially if you're a Tyler Shuck believer, which some people are, and I don't know. I think jury's out still. The Lions technically were in last place last year.
Yeah.
So that's one.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Giants?
Giants are going to play bully ball. I think that's the best bet they have. I like the idea of them lining up with 3 running backs who can all come at you. I like that. I like their offensive line. I still worry about the quarterback position because he puts himself in such harm's way constantly. He doesn't slide very well. He likes to take contact. He's also a person that after the first option is taken up for them, either he makes a poor decision on the throw on the second option, or he just takes off running. And so I kind of worry about that a little bit. I don't think they're going to be good enough to finish first in that. I actually think that the Cowboys, what they did defensively by going out and finally getting someone who can coach defense, I think that the Cowboys, I'd probably make them the favorites, and then I have the Eagles after them, and I probably have the Giants and Redskins. I would have the Commanders after that in that division. So I wouldn't do it with them, but Detroit for sure. Let's take Detroit and the Saints. That seems like easy ones.
Because I look at the other options, it's not going to be the Jets, right?
No.
Not going to be the Browns.
No.
Would bet pretty heavily against the Titans.
Yeah. Well, that division is as much as I like Jacksonville to be a sleeper Super Bowl pick, which somebody may have made like a $25 pick on them win the Super Bowl. Plus 100. Anyway, as much as I like them, that division could go anyway, right? Anything could happen in that division.
I just think
the South is weird.
Between the Jaguars and the Texans, you're probably getting a decent team out of that group, and I don't think the Titans can pass them. It's not going to be the Raiders. And it's not going to be the Cardinals. So we really only have like 2.5 viable options: the Saints, the Lions, and maybe the Giants, but the Giants are a distant third in that conversation.
Whenever you cross off a team, though, Robbie, would you going into last year have put Carolina as winning the South?
Yes.
So the South is
not you.
I wouldn't have, but the South is always just like, no, it's the South. You know what I mean? Like kind of like you're doing with the Titans, where it's like, I don't know, that division sucks, maybe.
Yeah. And I just never know with the way the league goes. Obviously, you have to have a quarterback, right? That's the one consistent thing. You have to have a quarterback, and the teams you named really don't have a starting quarterback or anybody you're worried about. So you're probably right. The Lions would be the first pick I would probably take just because of how solid they are. But at the same time, I think the Packers bounce back. I know a lot of people aren't huge on the Packers this year, but I think they bounce back. I probably, if I was going to pick a team, I'd probably pick them to win that division going in right now.
I kind of lean Bears there. I'm pretty high on Caleb Williams. Like I was pretty impressed with his progression from year 1 to year 2. Like if Caleb Williams continues to develop, I think that Bears team is going to be pretty hard to deal with.
If you punted the ball to the wide receiver instead of threw it, would you get it there more than 60% of the time?
I mean, me personally, no, I would not.
Because he would, like a punter, like take a punter, say Sam Foltz when Sam Foltz was punting people passes back in practice. You think he had a higher than 60% completion rate? Because Caleb Williams doesn't.
Fair. I do think Caleb Williams might be a little bit more mobile than most punters, so that helps.
He may be, and I love Caleb Williams coming out. I thought it was right for him to be the number 1 overall pick. I hated the fact that people were mad because he painted his fingernails. I didn't care about any of that.
Yeah.
Didn't care about his dad or any of that. But he still does things that at times, as a football fan, that really bother me. The throws he tries to make, the decisions he doesn't make, like getting the ball out of his hands quickly at times, bother me. A first place schedule, right? Is it the first place schedule, right?
Yeah.
First place schedule for them. I mean, all of those reasons, that's why I think I'd lean towards the Packers right now. I'm not saying the Bears can't win 9 or 10 games. I just think they're going to take a little bit of step back from last year because of the schedule and because Caleb Williams is going to put you in harm's way with his turnover potential. My
biggest question with Caleb Williams coming out was, can he stay within the system enough to win at the NFL level, right? Like that's a thing that you can get away with in college and win at a really high level, but in the NFL, like you kind of have to make some routine plays. Still a question, right? Like I thought he was better at it last year than he was as a rookie, but like all fair criticisms there. I think the biggest wild card in that division though is like what if Kyler Murray with an actual coach and OC, with KOC as the head coach there, like what if Kyler Murray's like actually okay?
What if he doesn't win the job? Right now, supposedly in practice, people are going to practice saying he's not getting number 1 reps. So maybe it's some sort of like cover they're doing. I don't know. No, I don't trust Kyler through a whole season.
Sure.
Only because my youngest son is taller than him, and my oldest son is taller than him, and my oldest son's not tall. So I don't necessarily trust him. I worry about the fact that he does not dive into the playbook, and it's a complicated offense with the Vikings. So I worry about that a little bit. That's probably why he's taking the 2 reps in practice. And then I worry about him getting hurt too. I just think that he gets banged up a lot, no matter what he's doing, no matter the fact that he gets down faster than some other quarterbacks. I worry about that. But I can see what you're saying. The Vikings do have a lot of talent, and throwing the ball up to the first or second best wide receiver in football is a nice thing to have in Justin Jefferson. But I personally, I don't think it's going to work. For the people that I like a Mike Schaefer, I hope good things happen to him. I hope good things happen for him, but I just don't see it.
Okay, so Severe, flipping to college now, and I want to keep it local, keep it with a close personal friend of both of ours, with Damon. But I'm just curious about your thought.
He's not friends with you?
Yes, he is. We're all friends. I have friends, Severe.
I'm sending a text right now.
Please do.
Are you friends with that Jacob guy?
No. Say Jimmy Neutron. Then he'll finally understand who he's talking about.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, cool.
But when it comes to not only just like Damon's new position with Nebraska, but just the way that Rule talked about on Saturday. I asked this to some of our guests yesterday, but why is it important in your perception or how you feel that college football is kind of turning in its new evolution to have that high school perspective and to have those guys on staff that can build those relationships from the high school to how they athletes transition to college and then during their time in a program?
I think we forget sometimes, and I had a guy, when Johnny Atawa, who's a former writer for the Omaha World Herald, first started at the paper, and he was still young. He was like 23, maybe 24 years old. And I remember him saying to me at the time, because, we forget sometimes what it was like when we were in college and the amount of stuff that we had to get done and the girlfriend issues, or if it was the boyfriend issues or whatever the issues were, and grades and all the little things that you had to do and leaving home and all of that stuff. And we forget about that. And that transition There's so much happening, and then throw 10 times on top of that the responsibility of being a football player at the University of Nebraska. You got to have somebody who understands it at every level, and Damon does. Obviously he was a player on campus. He has a kid on campus. Coached high school. He's done everything that it would make that job perfect for him. And so I think sometimes we do forget that. Sometimes a young man just needs to have a conversation about how his day is going or how his life is going. And I think Damon will be a good person to be able to see that in a young man and be able to help them and transition them through it. I mean, you're not going to solve all their problems, but at least you'd be able to address them and let them have somebody to talk to about it. And Damon's very good at that. So I think that position is incredibly important. I remember back in the day when Turner Gill left Nebraska, after the first year of Bill Callahan, he went to the Packers and he was like director of player personnel. And I remember interviewing him about that. And he said, even at that level, sometimes they just needed to talk to somebody who understood what they were going through and just help them, help explain the taxes that are coming out of the check. I mean, little things like that. Right. And so, yeah, that position has always been incredibly important, and Damon's perfect for it. And I agree with what you're saying, especially the fact that he's been around a lot of these people at the high school level. And he's been around them now at the college level. And I think between the two of them, he'll help them with the transition, both in the NIL stuff that he's going to be doing, that aspect of his job, and then the director of player personnel, or however that title is as well.
Michael, when you're looking at the Big Ten this year, is there anybody that people are high on that you're just not buying?
It's funny because it depends on what list you look at, Ravi, right? Almost every team, like I saw a list where UCLA was finished 5th. In their picking, right, in terms of the odds, right? Yeah. I saw one where Washington was 4th. And as much as I think that both those teams could maybe get to their over, I don't think either one of them is going to finish in the top 5. And so it depends on what list you're looking at. I probably would say if there's a team that's got a chance to take a step back, obviously with the schedule, Ohio State could go 9-3, which would be a shock to everybody's system if that could happen. And obviously they're getting picked to be the winner right now, at least by the Cleveland Plain Dealers pick, whatever. I personally think that Indiana, and I know this is not a popular position, but Josh Hoover with his turnover problems, with what they lost, you just can't continue to turn over that kind of talent. I wouldn't be surprised if they had a couple of games that they lost that people were surprised by and they fall back a little bit. But in terms of teams that people are kind of looking at and saying, I think they're going to be better there, I think Washington is the one that I probably would pick. I like Damon Williams. They struggled on the road last year. They lost 2 players that when they were injured last year, they just didn't play well. The wide receiver, the Boston kid, and then their running back, right? Both running backs got banged up last year. When they were out, they just didn't play well. Damon Williams tried to carry him, but he couldn't. Both those guys are going now. All 3 of those guys are going now. So that's the one I think it's closer to 6-6 than I see the 8-4 and 9-3 that some people are putting up on them.
With Indiana, how much of it do you think like we are realistically looking at their roster and the new guys that have come in and the people that they lost versus it's just we're so terrified against betting against Signetti at this point?
I'm with you. Somebody said this to me yesterday. You can't really judge Josh Hoover what he did at TCU because now he's in a system with a coach who is proven. At every level he's been in, he's proven. And so I will say, though, when you have that many starts as a quarterback and you're still doing the same thing, I don't think you're going to change. It's kind of like a golfer who gets his swing fixed in practice but goes out when it's, he's actually in the tournament and he's back to swinging the way it was. I think Josh Hoover's still going to do that stuff. I agree with you, completely agree with you that Signetti changes the level of the water in that beaker, right? He just, there's something about when he gets put in, it just changes everything. But at the same time, they lost 2 of the best, two of my 4 favorite pass rushers last year were on Indiana's team, right? They lost both of those guys. The offensive line is back. They changed one guy out, but they got a lot of returning spots on the offensive line. But you lose everybody's favorite cornerback in D'Angelo Pounds, right? You lose 2 wide receivers who made so many plays for you on back shoulder throws, and you lose a Heisman Trophy winner at quarterback, and you lose both your running backs. I know he's an incredible personnel guy. I know that, and he is really good at picking people that were at one level and making sure they're going to be good at the next level. But can it continue? Can 3 years in a row he play the same game and it win and it works? I think I'd bet against it.
Michael, if I take the crystal ball and I show you right now on August 11th and I say Penn State goes 10-2, are you surprised or are you disappointed in that?
I think that's where I think if they don't go 9-3, Matt Campbell's going to get a lot of pressure on him from the fan base and even people in the administration, because the one thing you knew about James Franklin is that if he was favored in games, especially if he was favored by 6.5 or more before last year, he was going to win all those games. This schedule is set up for James Franklin, if he was here, to win 11 games, right? Mm-hmm. It's just set up that way based off of his history. Well, you bring in Matt Campbell. If he doesn't win at least 9, it's a disappointment. With the way that schedule's set up, 10-2 would be, first of all, you know I grew up a Penn State fan. Did you know that when you asked that question?
No.
Okay, so I do have a little bit of that Homer mentality in me because I've been a fan of them since 1977. So I do have that in, but I do honestly believe because of that schedule, with the amount of starts, Rocco Beck, the way he can play and not hurt you, I think that they could win 10 games pretty easily.
Michael, with the last one here before we can, obviously we want to make sure we get a chance to tell people about your event that's coming up. But is there any part of you that thinks Oregon may, I don't know if struggle is the right word, but may not be the team people think they are with the turnover with the coordinators? I feel like there's some question marks on the offensive line, and Dante Moore didn't play his best against the best opponents last year. Like, is there any part of you that is looking at Oregon and say, yeah, they're probably going to make the playoff and all this, but maybe not the juggernaut that people are looking at right now?
So I understand what you're saying, because there were basically 3 games. Well, when Dante Moore was at UCLA, there were a lot of games, but at Oregon, there's basically 3 games where you could look at and say he was playing against a team with equal talent, and he struggled. But let me read you. This is just EA Sports, okay? I know it's just EA Sports. It's in the game, but they love to really judge linemen based off of every little stat you can possibly have, and they give you scores. Mm-hmm. They have 4 players who have a 90 grade or better on their defensive line. It blows my mind. They have a 90, a 92, a 93, and 94. If you can get past how good that defensive line can be with your offense, their back 7 or back 6 is equally as good with a lot of depth. I just worry that people aren't going to be able to move the ball against them, and Dante Moore wants to do a lot. All you have to do is hand the ball to perhaps the best group of running backs in college football. So it's hard for me to lean and say that they won't be as good as we think they are just because of all the talent. If they aren't, that goes back to the coach. That's on Dan Lanning, because all the talent in the world's there. That running back room is deep. They got wide receivers. I mentioned that defensive line. All this talent. If they don't do it this year, that's on Dan Lanning.
All right, tell us about the event you've got coming up for the Jet Award Foundation.
Yeah, it's happening at Hurrdat Sports Bar. It is August 27th. Starts at 6:30. It's the 3rd year we've done it, and we always have a Husker roundtable. And this year, it's going to be some kind of more newer guys, although Bo Root is a part of it. But we're going to have a couple more linebackers. And we're going to also have Brandon Riley, who was a wide receiver. But it's going to be fun. You know, Josh Banderas is going to join us. Mo Berry is going to join us. We're going to do that. We have an auction with a bunch of good things in the auction, everything from free meals at Runza through Steelhouse concert package we have. We have a bunch of great stuff on that as well. And so to find out more information about the whole thing, it's only $10 to get in. It's not really expensive. We also have a couple packages where you can get a football along with it or drinks along with it. But you can go to thejetaward.com, All the information is right there, how you can sign up, how you can register for the auction, how you can buy tickets to go to the event. But obviously all the money goes to Jet Award Foundation, which raises money for the Johnny Rogers Career and Technical Scholarship. This year, we have more students at MCC this year on our scholarship than we've ever had before. We're up to 160, and we got 10 more over at Iowa Western. We're trying to build that up right now, trying to raise money for that. So we're very happy about how the scholarship program is going. We just got to keep funneling more money into it.
Well, as you know, Michael, I love the cause that you guys work towards. I'm a very big fan of practical and applicable education, so I love that part of it. The other thing, I'm going to ask this question every single time we speak. Have you been able to get a hold of my guy, Peter Warwick, yet?
So here's the thing. Let me first tell you this. William Reed, former head football coach at Central years ago.
Yep.
He was the coach where the IBACs all came through there. He's the guy who picks it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here's who Coach wants this year. Coach wants a little running back who had a pretty good career in the NFL, who was a really good returner as a sophomore when he was at Oklahoma State. So that's who coach wants, right? And so I'm working on getting that guy to be our Legacy Award winner this year.
Okay.
I also have a lot of calls out, and I've told you this many times before. I want to get Devin Hester. So that's the other guy who's on my list. Santana Moss and Peter Warwick are two other guys that I have tried to contact through former teammates of theirs. I have gone through their charity organizations. I've tried every different way. I've not heard back from either one of those guys. I have gotten a hold of Devin's agent, and I have had a little bit of conversation with Barry Sanders people. So those are the two that I'm closest to. But trust me, I work on it. I'm not just saying it. That's a guy that we want to have at some point. The one problem he has, though, is that if you look at his numbers as a return man, they aren't like a lot of our Legacy Award winners.
No, he was more selective in when they used him because he wasn't always the return man.
Right.
I will say the punt return for the national championship game was pretty good though.
That's a big one, and that's a big reason why you pick him. But Santana Moss, I think, had like 4 or 5 returns for touchdowns. And obviously Devin Hester, we know what Devin Hester is. And the year that Barry Sanders had, the year before he actually became the starting running back, that is one of the great kickoff return years of anybody ever in college football. And so that's kind of where we are in terms of that list. We're trying to get as many really good legacy guys, the guys who would have won the award when if we were doing it back then. That's the goal. And so we're trying to get all the good legacy guys we can, and we're working on it.
Well, you're doing a great job. I asked that question a little tongue in cheek, but I do appreciate all the work you do. And obviously it would be incredible to get any of those guys that you're talking about back for the Legacy Award. So we appreciate all the work you do. We can't wait to see you August 27th, correct?
That is correct. August 27th at Hurrdat Sports Bar.
Hey, Michael, before you go, can you talk a little bit more about just the expansion of the high school awards and everything that you guys are doing too? Because I know that was the list that you've added the female athletes, male athletes, and all the other stuff. And we just got the list as well earlier this month that you sent out, I think.
Yeah, Mr. Football, I put that on August 3rd. That was our watch list for Mr. Football. This will be our 4th Mr. Football. Very excited always about Mr. Football. I know there's a couple of big-time favorites based off of what high school football is this year. So we know that. But we still have the list out, and we'll have a bunch of people voting on it, and very excited about doing that. And then 2 years ago, we added the Jordan Larson Award, which goes to the best female athlete in best female high school female athlete in the state. And so very excited about that. We got an awesome sponsor, a woman who runs an OBGYN clinic who is pro women sports. She played softball at Nebraska. And so we're excited about having her as one of our sponsors, like Jamie Seaman, who is also a part of the 50 Mile March. She'll be doing that with me in 10 days or whatever. And so we love that. We also have a Mentor of the Year award that we give out every year that goes usually to a coach. Kirsten Berthel Booth won it 1 year. Scott Strohmeyer won it last year. So we were very excited about that award as well, along with the Legacy Award. And we paying homage to the best high school athletes in the state, I think, is necessary. And I'm glad we have the chance to be able to. I mean, you guys do a good job with Hurrdat of it to us as well. But I want to make sure that we always are doing that and making sure that we point out the great, not just players, but everybody we've had for both of our awards have been great academically as well. And so we're very excited about those.
I like the fact that it's an award and everything that's fantastic. And a lot of kids now these days in the high school ranks, they get their names up. We see them in papers and we post about them on our channels and all that other stuff. But I think giving them something that's cemented almost like in a legacy is something that we don't do enough of at the high school level. And I love hearing the stories of like Calvin Jones. I love hearing the stories of how a player that played. I mean, I remember being in high school and driving from Sydney to watch Calvin Strong play football.
Sure.
Like that's stuff that's important to me. And I really like the idea that you can kind of continue to build a historical legacy of notable athletes and high school players who may not go on to be excellent in college or have professional careers, but were very significant at their time just here in the high school ranks.
And I love the fact, so our Mr. Football Award, if you've seen the award, it's basically Marlon Briscoe. It was the original design for the statue that's over at UNO. Joe Pagenter had made that design, and that's what we use. So honoring one of the greatest athletes from South Omaha is awesome. The first black quarterback to start, first black athlete to start at quarterback in the NFL after we went through segregation, because there were some back in the 1910s. And then to have Jordan Larson, one of the greatest athletes ever, not just volleyball player, but one of the greatest athletes, especially when it comes to international. To have her as that award, I'm really excited about having that. Joe designed a special award and made that one for her as well, for that one. So yeah, I agree with you. And to have that list, right? So in 20 years, when we're still doing this, or somebody's doing this, those athletes, we can look back and go, hey, remember how good this guy was, or remember how good this lady was when she was in high school. So yeah, having that as a memory and a history marker for each year of high school sports in the state is very important.
That is the executive director of the Jet Award Foundation, Michael Severe. Michael, appreciate the time as always, and we will see you on August 27th.
All right, we'll talk to you later, guys.
That is Michael Severe, executive director of the Jet Award Foundation,
and my best friend.
Your very best friend.
Yes, and he'll say it too. He's one of my good friends. He knows my name and he remembers it regularly. He always says good things about me. All that good stuff.
Hello, friend.
I think he may have called you Jacob in there at one point.
It's a great bit of his. There was one time he did genuinely forget my name, and I could tell that it somewhat bothered him. Because he was like, I haven't said his name in so long. I don't know what it is.
So I do that sometimes where it's like, I know, like I deep down, I know their name, but then you start to second guess yourself a little bit. And it's usually just like a slight variation where it's like, wait, is this a Christine or a Christina?
Christina.
But it's Christina.
You come into my house, you get my wife's name right.
Get back here and make love to my wife.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
That's when he's chasing him down.
I know.
I'm not married, so it was a movie reference. Rico couldn't say that.
No, I do, but I sometimes I'll have these little brain farts where I'm like, wait, is it? And you're like, and it's too close to, and you're like, I know this person's name, but then I'm like on Facebook trying to find him and be like,
so my worst one is one of my fiance's friends from medical school. Her husband is named Jamin. And I could not remember. I knew it started with a J the first time I met him. I was like, oh, man. So I like see him in the bathroom when we were out at the bar. And I was like, J-Man, how are you? And he was like, man, what do you mean? And so then later I was like, oh, my God, what's his name? And finally he comes up. He's like, it's J-Min. Like, oh, crap.
You should have been like, yeah, I was doing a thing. It's the nickname.
No, I couldn't get away with it. I was exposed.
J-Man the J-Man. Like
J-Man.
Yeah, I don't know.
We just met him.
I would have tried.
That's terrible. Like he came up to you. He's like, I know you don't know.
Yeah, that was bad. I appreciated him calling me out then because I've never forgotten his name since then. So it's it's good.
It's like the drive by. You just walk by. It's like, by the way, it's Jamin.
But also, your wife's friends are the hardest names to remember in the world
because you don't care about any of them.
That's the problem. She puts you in a room and a playpen is just like, you guys are boys, hang out.
Yeah,
I have friends in common with this person.
You're friends now. His wife is my friend, so you guys have to be friends.
That's how it happens. The only thing I share in common with all of my fiance's friends is that I drink beer, much like their husbands. That's it. That's the only thing. That's what she suggests we do. She's like, oh, well, I'm going to go hang out with Macy. You and so can just drink beer. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. I could do that.
So I feel like
drink beer and watch the grass grow.
I feel like sometimes people who are trying to make other people be friends, whether it's significant others or spouses or whatever, they mistake primary activities and secondary activities. Drinking beer is a secondary activity. You do that while you're doing something else, whether it's watching a game or...
I don't know, it's a primary activity for some... Like, I could make it a primary activity.
Listen, but I'm not going to... Listen, while I'm drinking the beer, though, I'm not going to, like, discuss drinking the beer.
That's a good...
You know what I mean?
Good argument.
That's what I mean about a secondary activity. It's like, the beer is... Listen, it could be like a centerpiece of the hangout, but there has to be something to discuss. Like, you can't just be sitting there in silence drinking beer. That gets weird in a hurry.
It does. Yeah.
And you can't just be like, oh, like if you start talking too much about the beer, it also gets weird.
Yeah, you don't want to be the beer knowledge guy.
Yeah, you don't want to be like, oh man, I'm really into these like double hazy IPAs, and then you start talking about
these Coors Light draws are really speaking to me.
And then you've got the homebrew guy that you're just like, I don't care about this at all. Please stop talking immediately. I'd rather drink in silence.
If you're really into beer, you're not talking about Coors Light.
That is true.
There's
good point,
no
Shane.
way.
Shane, what's your go-to beer?
Squirt.
Famously not a beer.
7.
Yes, Queen.
Bang.
I'm just saying, like, you need something else.
Yeah.
for it to, you can't just be like, you both like beer.
But see, that's a great time to just go to, if you're stuck in this situation and you're just drinking beer, start naming random dudes and just see how far you can get, right?
Speaking of which.
That's a segue.
We're going to take a break here, but I was watching a TikTok the other day and people were naming the all-time, like, people forget about, or this guy was a problem.
Let's go. Rico's terrible at this. He's going to hate this segment.
I'm terrible when you put me on the spot.
I think we're going to have a draft.
Yeah.
I think we need to have a draft.
Rico, name a dude. Name one dude.
Name a dude.
Name
Jordy
one dude.
Nelson.
There you go.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah,
that's fine.
That's good.
With this,
You're going to have a draft like a beer?
Nope.
Shane!
Different kind of draft, Shane. But I like where your head's at. You can have a draft while having a draft when your wife puts you in a position
there you go.
Where you're just with a bunch of dudes and she's like, you all like beer. This will work. This is your solution to this. You have this guy was a problem draft.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Which is what we will do next.
Okay.
That's Austin. I'm Ravi. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
I know everybody wants to give the trophy to some other people right now, but we've been in a position before to do it. Our kids have been around that. They grew up in it. They know what the standard is here. But we have to every day, every practice rep, take it to that standard. And if we do that, we keep growing by the end of the year. Offensive line, skill guys, defense, D line, whatever. If we keep improving and we stay in that moment every 4 seconds of that rep, every 4 seconds of that play. We'll be a tough out.
Ability, but can come in, insert themselves, and be respected quickly.
Yeah, I think Owen. So far, we haven't played a game together, but what I've seen him do in the offseason, obviously he comes in with knowledge of the defense, but, as Rob's watched the Big Ten, he's changed a lot of the defense or it added to the defense. And so both Owen and McDougal come in with that knowledge. I think the thing that's really special about Owen is he's going to set up times for guys to watch tape and walk through the defenses together in June and July. And that's why July is designed the way it is, to see who emerges. I mean, he's one of those guys that if there's 8 reps in a period or 10 reps in a period or 4 reps in a period, he's going to ask for more. I mean, he wants to go good on good. He just loves to play football. He's a guy that, if I'm away, he'll text me a question about, hey, I'm watching this NFL training camp and they're doing this, I mean, he just loves football. And, the players respect him and appreciate him. So we're really not looking for guys to give a ton of speeches. If there's a time to say something and you have that, you have that gravitas with the team, great. We don't need to know that our best players, your best players aren't always your leaders. Sometimes people have natural ability to say things and listen to when they need to be led.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Mail Medical. That's Austin. I'm Ravi here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. Give our friends over at Next Gen a call, 402-614-9700. I might have to give them a call. I've got another tennis tournament coming up this weekend. So
are you going to beat up some old people again?
No, I don't get to yet. I have another full year before I can beat up the olds.
Who knows if you're going to make it if you don't start taking the stairs?
Listen,
actually, Next Gen's helping you out.
Yeah, Next Gen's helping me out. They're helping me recover. They're helping me stay hydrated. 402-614-9700. Whether you're not a fan of accidental exercise or maybe you just want to get to feeling your best, they can help you out, and they will get you wherever you're looking to go in terms of your health and how you feel physically. 402-614-9700. All right. Have you had, Matt Har says, beat up the old. Listen, man, I cannot wait until I'm the youngest one in my division. Cannot wait. I'm playing too many former Division I athletes that are still in their 20s.
Do they think you are a former Division I athlete?
They do not.
Dang it.
They do not. They do mostly recognize that I am better at some of the skills of playing tennis than they are. But they're just like, yeah, I'm sorry. I ran like a 4.6. And I'm like, well, I don't. So that's cool. Having a good time here. Just really enjoying myself.
Just happy for you.
Just hitting great shots that they chase down every single time. That makes me feel really good.
At least you're getting your steps in that way, so that's good.
I do, man. I got a lot of steps in yesterday. I was struggling.
Do you pattern your game after anybody?
No, not really. That's a good question, though, Shane. I appreciate that. I have
tennis.
I have a little mix. I do a little Pete Sampras serve and volley. That's not my go-to, but I have it in the bag. I kind of prefer to be a aggressive baseliner, but you got to get it all court play. So it's got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Got to be a versatile player.
You're not throwing your racket down like John or anything?
No, rackets are expensive, so I don't do that. They're pricey, so I'm not trying to ruin any of those out of my anger. Matt says you never need to run 40 yards it's just a measure of overall athleticism, Matt. I understand you don't actually have to run 40 yards to play tennis. Robbie's going to be like the retired PGA Tour players who go and beat up the Champions Tour once they qualify age-wise. That's exactly the goal, Mustache Adam. I'm going to be honest with you. Exactly the goal. See, Ken, I'm not underestimating the power of the olds. I will say, once you get into like the 40-plus, range, a lot of the better players like to play doubles, so it kind of gives me an advantage too, because I'm a singles player guy. You got to be careful there. No, Todd, there's not a lot of you cannot be seriouses for me. Speaking of random guys,
I'm working on this list right now, and I'm entering a part of my brain that's very fun.
Yeah, speaking of guys from yesteryear.
Okay,
it is it's time for our. This guy was a problem draft.
Okay, Rico, play the music.
God
damn it. Okay, now you have to remember that. You got to remember that
for
song.
every pick.
For every pick, you're doing that. You're doing that for every pick.
All right.
Okay, so can you tell? You don't have to describe this because we're going to let the council decide.
Okay,
but where are you starting? Are you just doing all athletes of all time? I have a lot of college football ones.
Yeah, listen.
Okay.
All athletes, any sport, college or pro.
Okay.
I'm not going to use this one, but this is an example. I'm not going to use this one because I just talked about him with Michael Severe. But I would go Peter Warwick. This guy was a problem. Now, I do think the older you go, the more famous they can be, because people are more likely to forget someone the older they've been.
Okay.
You couldn't give me Adrian Peterson. Everybody knows Adrian Peterson was a problem.
Yes.
And the council can decide, hey, too famous, too good, doesn't count as one of those guys. Fair?
Okay. All right. Fair.
We will go by a consensus. The vote can be you, me, and Rico. 2 out of 3 decides it.
And Shane gets the deciding vote.
Yeah, Shane can have the deciding vote if we're really stuck.
Perfect.
Although I'm still pretty traumatized by him allowing DB to have vodka slushies.
That is true.
As a sweet treat. His judgment has clearly been compromised.
Yes, very much so. Well, luckily the person he's sleeping with no longer works here, so that's all fine.
Hey now.
Yes, Queen.
All right, pass the difference.
What does that mean? What could that possibly mean?
Shebang.
I don't know, but that's funny.
Rico, cue the music. Let's get this going. That's the wrong song.
But it's better though. He doesn't have to sing every time.
I didn't want to do it.
All right.
Okay.
So here I've got a number in my head between 1 and 20.
Okay.
I will not go first.
Okay.
I'll volunteer to go. I mean, unless you want me to go last, not go
Nope.
last and have the snake draft.
I'm going 8.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 18.
It is 12. Austin wins.
Bang.
So I will go third. So first, second, and I will go third. We'll do snake draft for however many picks we feel like.
Okay. All right. We ready?
Yeah, number one
I
overall
think
pick.
my first pick, I feel pretty good about this.
Okay.
Noel Devine.
Oh, West Virginia great.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's like the original high school mixtape.
Yes.
Like that dude's high school highlights were unreal. And his
Is
recruitment.
he too popular?
No.
Rico seems hesitant on it.
No, you're good.
Okay.
His recruitment was insane.
Yep.
Deion Sanders prominently involved for some reason. Noel Devine is this guy was a problem.
And also, there was no sweeter sound in America than watching the SportsCenter Top 10 late on a Saturday night and seeing Noel Devine just scoring 6 touchdowns. I mean, seriously, just the name, the sweet look, all that stuff. Like there was something about the West Virginia black sky, like everything about it was perfect.
I will say, so when I briefly was interning with the Omaha Nighthawks, we did have Noel Devine briefly.
Oh,
you cannot believe how small that man was.
Yeah, tiny.
Like, I mean, smaller than Rico, I think. Like, he was a little guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was a small guy.
And I think he was listed at 5'8", and he was like staring at my chin, basically. Like, this was a tiny, tiny man. So to do it at that size, unbelievable. Noel Devine, number one pick.
Okay, bang.
Rico, who do we got?
You said we could get hyper specific. I am going
You
to
do whatever you want.
High school mixtape, 7th Woods.
7th? What?
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Is that basketball?
It is.
Sure, you can have it. I've never heard of him. How big of a problem is that? How big of a problem that you're looking up 7th graders?
His name was 7th.
Okay.
His high school mixtape. He was supposed to be the next great guy. He was not very good in college.
Was it to a Drake song, the mixtape, or the highlight?
Might have been.
Okay.
So he
You've
played
seen the highlight tape.
I remember the
What's
name.
his name? 7th Wood?
7th
Woods.
I do not have enough frame of reference. I'm going to be honest. He probably would have been available for you later in the draft, Rico. I'm just going to be honest.
No, that's fine.
Wow. Rico messing up a draft. Who would have guessed that?
He played.
I think it's a great pick.
He played poorly for 3 years at North Carolina.
Yep, he was not good in college.
Sat out a year in what I think was the very last year you had to sit out to transfer. Went to South Carolina and then was also bad at Morgan State.
That's tough.
He never averaged more than 5.4 points per game in high school. There you go. That's your number 2 pick, Rico. You feel good about that?
I do feel good about it.
Okay. My number 1, and listen, I have a little bit of a reputation with this particular person. My number 1 draft pick for this guy was a problem.
Dylan Raiola at the buffet line. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. I take it back. I didn't say that.
Dylan Raiola at a Golden Corral. That guy is a problem.
I drove by a cornfield in Lincoln yesterday. He wasn't wrong.
Anywho,
Dylan Raiola trying to climb a mountain. That guy is a problem.
On top of a mountain.
No, it is a Nebraska quarterback, and people forget this guy was a problem. One, Joe Gans.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Number
all right,
1 overall pick. This guy was a problem. And not only that, I'm going to go out. I've said this before. I'll say it again. If the 5-for-5 eligibility thing had been instituted when Joe Gans was playing, Nebraska wins a national title in 2009.
He was a good quarterback.
And that was the best defense in the country by far. If Nebraska even had a functional quarterback in 2009, that is a national title contender. He was actually good, better than functional. I will die on the hill that if Joe Gans has one more year of eligibility, we have a 2009 Nebraska national champion.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that pick.
My number 1 overall pick. My number 2 overall pick. We're staying in college football.
We're snaking it? Okay, gotcha.
Staying in college football. Darren Sproles.
Okay, good pick. I like Darren Sproles. I like Darren Sproles.
That guy was a problem.
Good pick.
Darren Sproles. I loved the Kansas State Darren Sproles.
Okay, I like that.
All right.
The guy was a problem.
Rico, we're back to you.
We are going to go with Brandon Jennings.
I got nervous there. I thought you took mine.
Brandon Jennings. Interesting. Are you just like the 1 year, like as the rookie?
Yes.
Okay.
I was going to go Michael Carter Williams rookie year, but I feel like it wasn't that good. He won rookie year, but it wasn't great.
No, it was
Brandon
a bad
Jennings rookie year. Everybody's like, this guy's going to be really freaking good. And then he wasn't.
There was a famous clip, I actually just ran across this yesterday, of Doug Gottlieb talking about how Brandon Jennings has such a higher upside than Steph Curry because they were in the same draft. And I'm like, brother, he's like naming off dudes that have a high. He's like Jeff Teague, better athlete. Johnny Flynn, grimy New York point guard.
Ricky Rubio, when he gets to the league, is a true point guard.
Brandon Jennings, such a higher upside. He's been playing over in Italy. And then he's like, I mean, Steph Curry, great shooter, but what else can he do? I don't know, just be one of the greatest players of all time.
Well, you can trade him for Monte Ellis, they're the same person, so no big deal.
But yeah.
All right,
rookie year, Brandon Jennings.
Okay. I also have a Brandon. This guy's a problem for many different reasons, most notably for trying to go after people's eyeballs. Brandon Spikes, the Florida Gators.
Florida Brandon Spikes.
Listen, college Brandon Spikes was nuts. Like, he was just digging into people's helmets. But also, he was the last of the era of the big linebacker.
Oh, yeah, the huge, oversized middle linebackers.
Yeah, him, Rolando McClain, like all those guys in like the mid-2010s.
Brooks was a huge. I loved Derek Brooks.
And then
another guy that was a problem.
And then literally one day, Johnny Manziel showed up and everyone went, they got to get faster. Make them tiny. Brandon Spikes, you play defensive tackle. Get out there. No, Brandon Spikes needs to lay some lumber. That guy was a heavy hitter. I did enjoy some Brandon Spikes.
I don't want to say this name because it might be a pick down the line, but
then don't say it.
There's another guy I'm thinking of that definitely qualifies. Rico, you're up.
No, I have a second.
Sorry.
Jeez,
Austin,
come on now.
You're up.
Okay, NBA version.
Okay,
because locally, I think people would be hesitant to give me this, but this is the NBA version. Kyle Korver.
Oh, okay. I think that worked. Locally, you're right.
Yeah.
But he played an incredibly long time, was on very good teams,
and
was
almost
an
all-star. Every time that he got picked up by an NBA franchise, he immediately became their number one shooting threat.
Yes.
And notably, when he would join a team mid-season or like on a one-year off stint, people like he would immediately upgrade their shooting capability, bar none. And then he would also have some lights out performance if it was like the first round of the playoffs. I think he went to the Hawks one year, like late in his tenure. And he had
like pretty high on the Hawks all-time scoring list, I believe.
He was on the 60-win Hawks team where Mike Budenholzer got like 3 more jobs because of that team.
Thank you.
He was an all-star. He was a one-time all-star, several times 6th man of the year vote getter, never actually won. That's a good pick.
Thank you.
Kyle Korver. People forget about that guy. Was a problem.
Now, I'm glad I didn't pick Creighton Kyle Korver or just said Kyle Korver in general because I feel like you guys would have tried to fight that.
I would have fought back on Creighton Kyle Korver.
Creighton Kyle Korver, no. But Kyle Korver, that works.
Underrated.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I'm stuck between two people, and I don't think that either one of you wants the first one that I'm going to say, and the chat already said the one that I'm going to say. I was going to go with Mount Cody.
Good pick. Mount Cody.
Good one.
And I might. You know what? I think I'm going to go with Mount Cody, and then I have another one that the chat's already said, and hopefully you guys don't take it. But yeah, Mount
Cody's a really good pick.
Remember Alabama.
The blocked field goal against Tennessee.
With like 2 fingers, and it went backwards.
And then I remember how quickly he ran towards the sideline to celebrate, and you're like, whoa, that amount of mass should not be moving the way that it is.
Fast.
You're like, dude, slow down. If you hit your coach, it's over.
Also the guy who injured Colt McCoy, if I remember right. Mount Cody.
He chucked him down. Yeah.
Good. We love to see that.
Wow. Jeez.
Okay.
Hey, bleep Texas. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair. No, that adds up.
All right. I think this guy qualifies. He is overshadowed by the quarterback that came directly after him and that sparingly played while he was there. People forget about Chris Leak. Chris Leak, Florida quarterback, led them to the 2006 national title game. Chris Leak was a problem. That was a good quarterback. Tim Tebow barely played that year, but he always gets credit for that national championship as well. He barely played. He was he was basically Heinrich Harburg last year of that, except for good at the things they asked him to do.
Ooh.
They didn't put Heinrich in a place. That's not a Heinrich dig. They didn't put him in positions to be successful. They did not put him in positions to be successful.
Watch yourself.
Listen, I would never say
Catholic legend.
I would never say a bad word about Heinrich Harburg. They did not put him in positions to be successful last year. Chris Leak was a really good quarterback in college that won a national title, was the starter on a national title team, and people just kind of are like, oh, yeah, Tim Tebow won 2 national titles. Not really. He was the backup on the first team. Nobody pays attention to that. Chris Leak. People forget.
All right,
Okay,
now you get the second pick.
My second pick, I'm going back and forth on this one a little bit, but I'm going to go with one of my personal favorites and a guy that does not get nearly enough shine. Cookie Belcher at Nebraska. Cookie Belcher was a problem.
Great name. Yeah, that's good. Okay. That's a really good name. I like that. Yeah.
16 points per game as a senior. Got overshadowed by Ty Lue's tenure over there at Nebraska as a guard. Cookie Belcher was a hell of a basketball player and led the conference in assists on 3 separate occasions, or on steals on 3 separate occasions. Cookie Belcher, 2-way player. I love me some Cookie Belcher. You got one, Rico?
I'm going to go Oklahoma State, Justin Blackman.
Okay, so he was on my list. He was on my list. He is a Biletnikoff Award winner.
I think he's too famous. Okay. I think he's too good.
I know what you're trying to do because his NFL career was so bad that he does get forgotten.
I think he was too good. Biletnikoff Award winner is pretty.
I don't know.
Impressive.
If he won the award, I think I don't think.
Okay. All right.
I was going to ask you guys if I could take a theme, and I was going to say Oklahoma State receivers. Because then you could get Des Bryant and Justin Blackman.
It was
and
a run of Oklahoma.
Yeah, they had Rashawn Woods.
Yes.
They had a really good.
And they were there was 4 or 5 in a row that everybody was
first round picks.
Yes.
People were very
Tyreek Hill was there too. So yeah, but
briefly.
Yeah.
Okay. I will. Yeah. Okay. I will retract that one, and I will go with my second one, which the chat has already said. Sean Oakman.
Oh, thank God you didn't take mine. Okay.
Oh yeah, the
Sean
Giant from Baylor.
Sean Oakman is good. I think he's a bigger name than what his game was, but
I would say
he had the picture. It was the
Yes.
first game, and then that year he was really good.
Yes, he did have good stats. I do think.
Yeah, projected first round, and then things happened.
But he also became his play that was when the Big 12 was completely air raid wide open all the time. He was getting sacks that didn't affect the actual game. I think he had a season where he got 10 or 11 sacks or something like that, if I remember right. And there were a lot of times that they would get a sack on first down, and then the other team would convert for first down on the next play.
Yeah, so it'd be like 2nd and 18, and then they would get the first down. And it's just this is doing nothing.
Okay.
You can
look at still. I mean,
Sean Oakman stats right now.
Yeah, his best year he had 11 sacks.
Yeah.
In 2014.
Again, we'll give you Sean Oakman.
Yeah,
I like it for the meme. I like it for the
I'll
meme. If nothing else, intimidating.
Yeah.
Okay. This is going to be a little bit on the Justin Blackman side. I don't think he was an award winner, but he was overshadowed by a smaller person, bigger name than him, LaMichael James.
Oh, I'll allow LaMichael James.
He was the starter for Oregon, but that tenure is dominated by DeAnthony Thomas highlights, constantly.
LaMichael James was very, very good.
How quickly we forgot LaMichael James. And honestly, I could have paired this with Darren Thomas too, with the quarterback. But everybody forgot how good they were because Mariota came right after them.
Yeah. I'll give you LaMichael James. I have no problem.
Was LaMichael the metal looking pads, shoulder pads, Oregon?
No, he was the start of their entire generation
of winged helmets.
Yes, yeah.
2010.
Okay.
2010-ish, I think.
Okay.
In that range. So the first national title game appearance, not the second one.
Okay.
Somewhere in there. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Who's your second pick?
See, this is where I'm starting to get it's really tough. I have a couple of options, but I think I'm gonna get bad value here. So that's where I'm kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place. I want to go NFL. I think that this is a leaky pick, but I'm going to take it anyway. Receiver, I'm going to go Brandon Lloyd.
Oh, Brandon Lloyd's a good receiver.
Played at multiple stops everywhere he went. He made these ridiculous catches.
Illinois great.
He would get 1,000 yards receiving and then immediately get cut and then would not play for 6 games in the next season. Yeah, he's a very interesting piece, but every single time that he went somewhere, he would have a game where he had an incredible jaw-dropping play, and then you look at his stats at the end of the year, and how did Brandon Lloyd throw 1,000 yards?
Wait a minute.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Brandon Lloyd. Okay.
Yeah, I get that.
You guys make me feel a lot better about that. I appreciate
No, it's
that.
a good
Yeah.
pick.
I was so kind of.
How many
in
picks
that
are we
realm.
doing, by the way?
I don't know. We're just vibing. We're just vibing it out.
Guys, name
All
it,
right,
dudes.
all right,
The
all right,
chat's
that's
just
fine.
blowing up. The chat. I feel like is in the wrong. They don't know what's exactly what's
headspace?
happening. Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody said Sue, and it's like nobody forgets about him.
No.
This is like
He was a problem.
Sue was a problem.
He was
He's
a
too big of a
problem.
name. Yeah.
this
But-
is a this
We
is a
shall
this
be
guy
some
was
problems.
this guy was a problem that like you don't talk about as much as you probably should.
Yes.
Or like they
It's
had
the
like a
people
year.
forget about / this guy
Yeah.
was a problem.
Mhm.
Like that's why I'm getting like specific with it. But like, yeah, no, that's what we're doing, guys.
Okay. All right.
So I was gonna go.
Thank you for resetting it for our podcast listeners, Rico.
Yeah.
For the podcast listeners.
I was gonna go Josh Gordon at any stop
Oh.
between his weed suspensions.
Ooh. Josh Gordon's
kind of-
pick.
He
That's
kind of falls in that Brandon Lloyd, like he'll have 1,000 yards and then he won't play for 2 years because he's suspended.
Mhm. That's good. I like that.
To be clear, Brandon Lloyd, as far as I know, was never suspended for drugs.
No, I was gonna go there, but I'm gonna go NBA.
Mhm.
Hito Turkoglu.
Oh,
Wow. You're
Hidu.
just saying names now. That's crazy.
Hidu was a problem. Hidu was
Hito, you throw the ball into Dwight, he gets about 5 dunks. They start double teaming him, and then what was he like 6'10", just
Hito.
draining threes.
Hidu was just raining from 3. All right, I have one. This might be controversial,
Uh-oh.
but he has
Love
become
controversy.
very famous for other things.
Brett Favre.
Nope. People do forget on the football field,
Oh God, no.
Aaron Hernandez was a problem.
Nobody
was.
forgets that.
Okay,
I think they
Rico,
do.
now publicly we're making a graphic and Ravi's picks are going to be on there.
I think
Agreed.
I think they do forget.
Nobody
he's
forgets
so
about that.
famous for all the other stuff. I think people forget that Aaron Hernandez was very good at football.
The 2 tight end sets where Aaron Hernandez was put in the slot and Gronkowski was lined up at tight end. Nobody forgets how great those Patriots teams were, and they never made a Super Bowl with both of them.
Are you sure?
I don't think people forget that.
Okay, I'll retract. I'm just all right. Here's my other option.
You also went problem in like the worst way too.
Well,
You really did.
It's a societal problem. Like that's really really
not
egregious.
anymore, but
Okay, move on. Solo cam him. I don't want to be in on that. Don't. I don't need that. Don't do that to me,
how about okay? We'll stick with football.
please.
Vontez Burfict.
Oh, Brandon Spikes esque.
Yeah,
I like
a little
that.
dirty, but like a little.
Are you taking his whole career?
Yeah, because he was
Okay.
way better in
Okay.
the pros than people thought. Because he ran a terrible time at
He
the
ran
combine.
a 5'1".
Yeah, it's very bad, but he was still a pretty good linebacker in the pros. Vontez
Pretty good
Burfict.
linebacker when you're taking people's knees out.
Well, he also may be responsible for this version of Antonio Brown that we have.
It's not. He is.
Unclear.
He was never the same after that hit.
It may be an accumulation of issues, but yeah, he was a good football player, though.
I'll give you that.
Vontez Burfict, good football player.
Okay.
That guy was a problem. Now I have to think of a second one because
See the one on the second, the one coming back is always.
well, I had two, but you guys vetoed Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, why
I
do you
mean-
think we did that?
I mean, I'll let you have it, but we're making a graphic.
Pass. I'll come up with
Yeah, I was going to say, do you want your name next to Aaron Hernandez?
Like, I'm going to go back and listen to this and try to get everybody's picks and make a graphic. So if you want it, I'll do it.
Okay, I will go with one of my all-time personal favorites. Running back from Nebraska, Brandon Jackson.
You're just going to Nebraska. I have a very hyper-specific Nebraska one that I
People
want to
forget.
take. I want to take it at the end. That's what I want to do.
Brandon Jackson
Could this
was
be our last round?
yeah, this could be our last round.
Okay.
I'll kick it off with Brandon Jackson. That guy was very good. He got drafted in the second round by the Packers. I believe he was just shy of 1,000 yards his last year at Nebraska. That was a very good running back, Brandon Jackson.
Okay. All right. I like Brandon Jackson. That's a good pick. Yeah.
Rico?
All right. I have a guy who I feel like people forget about him, but they remember the jokes. He was overshadowed by a much more popular and out there figure, TJ Houshmandzadeh.
Mm.
TJ Houshmandzadeh. R.I.P.
TJ Who's Your Mama?
He's not dead, is he?
Yeah. He passed.
TJ Houshmandzadeh?
Pretty sure.
Is he?
No.
No.
You're talking-
It's the other.
Chris,
it's
Chris.
yes, the other guy. Yes, that's right.
It's Chris
Henry.
Chris Henry.
Yeah.
He's passed. I was like, TJ, I'm pretty sure
I was
TJ.
like, I don't think so.
Really bad on my part.
Yeah, quit trying to kill me.
TJ Houshmandzadeh. I think people forget about how good he was with Chad Johnson.
It is a very good pick, and he was a very good football player. He was one of those guys, and DB and I talked about this. I didn't like how he looked, and so I had a really hard time respecting him.
Okay.
I'm just putting it out
That's
there.
fair. Okay.
I'm acknowledging my biases and my shortcomings. I got distracted by I really just didn't enjoy the whole look of the TJ Houshmandzadeh experience.
Fair enough.
You didn't like the name going all the way around the number.
That was goofy. That was too much. That was way too much.
Yeah.
I only have one pick here, right?
This
This
is
is my
one
last
pick.
pick.
This is the draft is over.
Okay. Does everybody have a quarterback? Did you pick a quarterback, Rico?
No.
You did
Okay.
not pick a
Okay, that's
quarterback.
fine. I just didn't know if I needed to pick a quarterback. I have
No.
two.
And
And
I'm just going.
I'll let you guys decide between my NFL or my college pick.
Okay.
Who do I pick? NFL or college?
Oh, I thought you were going to tell us.
Oh, I mean, do you want to know the names?
Yeah.
Make my last
Yeah.
pick for me?
Yeah.
Give it a lot.
Okay, so quarterback, Jordan Lynch,
College.
Okay. And
Northern
then
Illinois.
my NFL pick, Navarro Bowman.
Ooh,
Go Jordan Lynch.
Bowman was too good.
Was Bowman too
I
good?
think
Okay.
Bowman was
Okay,
too
that's
good.
fine. That's fine. I thought
I mean,
because
Jordan Lynch was a Heisman finalist.
At Northern Illinois, though.
and Northern
I
Illinois.
know. I did.
Yeah.
I think Jordan, he should have won that Heisman.
Okay, so I had my Nebraska pick was going to be Kyler Reed.
Oh,
I loved Kyler Reed.
Kyler Reed,
was
tight
great.
end.
And then I had this is my funny Nebraska pick was Rutgers game James Williams. Problem.
just the one game.
And then the problem he became after that game. Problem.
I was gonna go with first 3 games of the season, and now I spaced on his name. Damn it! Never mind. It was Mike Riley, running back, got injured against Oregon.
Oh,
Divine Zigbu?
no, Trey Bryant.
Yes,
Okay.
first 3 games of the
Yeah.
season, Trey Bryant.
Then his knee just disintegrated into
It
nothing.
just was
Yeah.
gone.
Oh, who was the spring game Jaquez Yant?
Oh God, Jock Yant. Oh baby, do you remember Greg?
Oh,
Sharp-
Northwestern
game.
Northwestern Jock Yant.
Get down the field. God, that guy rocked. A couple of other college football names I had on there.
Yeah.
James Skalski, the Clemson linebacker who always
Okay.
wore the egregious eye paint.
Okay.
Ryan Swope, Texas A&M receiver.
Oh, okay.
I had John Abraham from his NFL career. Sammy Coates was always just a great name. I loved hearing his name.
Good tight end. Matt says 8th grade me.
The good pick. I put Martavis Bryant on there. Do you guys
Okay.
remember when they had the 3 Bs of Pittsburgh and Martavis Bryant was also like a part of that?
Yeah.
He was a good receiver.
Was it Bryant Brown and Burris?
No, because it was
Brown.
it was Ben Bell and Bryant,
Oh,
and then
gotcha.
it was Martavis Bryant that was also
Gotcha.
there too.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then I put Jake Plummer on there. I think Jake Plummer's like severely underrated, and the reason he was a problem was because he just didn't care where the ball went half
Yes.
the time. He would throw 50-50 balls that were closer to 1090, like being closer to interceptions.
I
but-
believe he has a story about his last pass in the NFL. He was like a backup at that point. They
Mhm.
brought him back in, and it was, he's a very gunslinger mentality, as you brought up. And it was a terrible decision. He threw an interception, and I believe that brought his career touchdown to interception ratio to exactly 1-to-1.
Nice.
And he's like, nah, it felt appropriate.
That's the way to go. That's the way to go.
Says, you know what? This works.
He's like, I was a gunslinger. I made some plays for the other team, and that's kind of what you were getting with Jake Plummer.
I had an NFL wide receiver that I think maybe would have been too popular, but I'm not sure. I was going to go Roddy White.
I would have liked Roddy
I probably
White.
would have allowed Roddy
He
White.
gets overshadowed by the Julio
I
Jones.
almost
effort.
went Jimmy Smith from the Jaguars.
I was going to say Keenan McCardell. McCardell.
Yeah.
Carl. Yeah.
McCardell.
Yeah.
You could go both those guys.
Yeah.
You just tandem them. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I almost had Isaac Bruce. That's too big of a name, I determined.
Yes.
But
I
Isaac
had
Bruce was.
Cedric Benson on my list. Not sure if that's too.
I
big.
like Cedric Benson. Bengals Cedric Benson, though.
Yes,
You know
Bengals
who I
Cedric.
would have allowed from that team? Oz Hakeem.
Hakeem is a good pick.
Oz Hakeem or Ricky Prohl.
Ricky Prohl.
Ricky Prohl was a little bit of a
That's
problem.
my guy. Ricky Prohl.
Why is it your guy?
He's
Oh,
white.
Panther.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
He played in 2 Super Bowls with great offenses. One with Jake Delhomme, one with Kurt Warner.
Oh,
I
he-
should have said Jake Delhomme. Actually, the mid 2000s Panthers backfield, D'Angelo Williams, John Stewart, was a pretty good backfield. It was a good time.
Maurice Jones-Drew.
Oh, I loved him. I loved MJD.
Anquan Bolden.
Oh, I love
Anquan got his jaw broke, right? That's the.
He did, yeah. And
Oh, really?
He came right back.
Hmm.
Anquan Bolden was recruited as a quarterback to Florida State.
Look at that.
He actually ended up playing. They had a bunch of injury issues, I think, his junior year.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up playing quarterback against Georgia in like the Sugar Bowl, despite having played wide receiver for the last like 3 years. It was wild. It didn't go well.
Another Husker, DeMornay Pearsonell.
Oh,
problem.
DPE.
Mm-hmm.
Problem.
Mo Washington when he wasn't in trouble.
Mo Washington was good.
He was good.
He was good.
Colorado lost Mo Washington.
I'll never accept a Colorado loss. I'll never.
No, but his play when they were up, like, yeah.
Nope. Out.
Who doesn't love a swing route?
People do forget, though. He gets overshadowed by Sue. Jared Crick was a problem.
Yeah, so I wondered about Jared Crick. I thought locally it would be too big of a name.
But Jared
Somebody
Crick
said Malik Collins, and I thought that was.
Can I say, I know you guys, this guy's not that big of a problem, but to me, he has just like a piece of my heart because the NCAA video game. There was one year that I was playing the Dynasty, and Cameron Meredith had 15 sacks. I was like, this guy's going to be an all-timer.
Yep.
And then we got to the games. I was like, Cameron Meredith is, yeah, he's a defensive end.
I don't know if I would go as far as he was a problem, but better than people remember. Barry Turner.
Ooh.
Barry Turner was better than people remember.
Can I throw Jason Ankara in there too?
Always. You
Yeah.
can always
Freedom Akinmaladen.
Former Schuyler football coach, by the way, Jason Ankara.
Really?
Yeah, did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he was there for like 2 years. It was great.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Love to hear it. Who did you say?
Freedom Akinmaladen.
That's a good name.
Yeah.
Good pick. Yeah.
I mean,
again, maybe not a problem, but yeah.
Literally.
So-
Mark, that's a great pick.
And from all accounts, the more we learn about Eric Hagg, the more that he cleaned up all of the issues that the 2009 defense might have had.
Yes.
He was just back there.
Eric Hagg was an absolute dude.
I can't believe I forgot this. I'm actually really pained at myself that I didn't say this. Larry Asante used to just kill people like on the field, on the football field.
Yeah.
Larry the Assassin Asante.
He had no like want to play coverage. He just wanted to hit people over the middle.
100%.
Yeah.
That guy
He's
rocked.
like, he was like, I'm not going to pick this off. I'm going to let you catch this.
Yeah.
Matt,
so I can separate you from the ball.
Matt, are you talking about Colt Brennan or Timmy Chang? Because both were badass.
That is true.
He says, "Who was that badass Hawaii QB?" I'm gonna need you to narrow
I'm gonna say
it
it's
down.
Colt because Colt had the
Yeah, he had the visor.
Yeah,
and
he rocked.
he was a Heisman finalist, I believe, and I think that he got him to the Sugar Bowl.
Yep, Colt Brennan.
Colt Brennan. Yeah, Timmy Chang walked so that Colt Brennan could run.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's
sprint.
Take off.
Timmy Chang walked so Colt Brennan could play tennis against 40-year-olds. All right, exactly. That's what he played. Asian white, Team Chang.
That's surprising.
Wow, Rico. What's that?
That it's surprising?
Why is it not surprising?
Stay with the chest. Is more of a Colt Brennan.
Surprise, surprise.
So I struggle a little bit more with the basketball side of it than
Sure.
you guys. I just don't think I have that deep of a bag when it
I
comes
was
to.
going to go Linus Kleza, but specifically Denver Linus Kleza.
Is Kemba Walker too big of a name?
Yes.
Could I have one
Yes.
Kemba?
Yeah.
Okay.
I might have thrown out Eduardo Nahara.
Nene.
Nene rocked. Oh, Nene rocked.
We're just naming that Denver squad.
27 NBA franchises.
Can I say one of my all-time favorites that I don't think gets enough credit? Tyson Chandler.
Oh,
Tyson Chandler was a dude. Like, incredible defensive center. Key part to the Dallas Mavericks win in 2011 because Dirk couldn't guard a soul by that point.
Nope.
He was very crucial to that team. You had like two 40-year-olds at guard and Dirk Nowitzki who couldn't guard you or me. Tyson Chandler cleaned up a lot on that team.
He did.
Cleaned up a lot.
He was the Eric Hagg of that.
He was the Eric
That's
Hagg.
the first time.
That's how we bring up. That's the first time Tyson Chandler's ever been compared to Eric
Only
Hagg.
7 original sentences left. That is an incredible pull.
Kenny, Josh Heupel was a problem. You're right.
Josh Heupel. Jeremy Lin. Jeremy Lin's a good pick.
Not even for half a season, Wyatt. For like 3 weeks.
For 2 weeks.
For like
yeah.
3 weeks.
2 3 weeks. Yeah.
Austin.
Were you a Knicks fan at that time?
Center. Yes.
Do not say Chris Berman Anderson. You were going to say Chris Berman.
Anderson.
He is a problem. He's a problem to society, much like Aaron Hernandez.
Problematic.
Yes. Much a problem. Big problem.
Him on that Denver squad. He was swatting shots like crazy.
Now, see, there were a lot of those random dudes on that. Andre Miller. People forget about Andre Miller. That guy was a problem. That dude led. I believe, Utah to a national title in
J.R. Smith,
1998.
too big of a name?
J.R. Smith is weird because he's famous for like other things.
Give it a few more years, and he'll be
Okay.
Yeah.
He'll be up. People forget about it.
Yes, Matt. Mark Sanchez was a problem.
Yeah, Mark Sanchez is only a problem in Indianapolis.
Especially if you're just some random service worker in Indianapolis, then he's really a problem.
Did you see Rosie in chat? It's okay, Austin. The Western Nebraska DNA does not come with the basketball update.
I thought you had lived here long enough that maybe you got the download. Not yet.
No, not there. It's okay.
No.
It's okay.
I just became like aware of Creighton basketball history last year, so it's slowly downloading.
You forget about Jose Calderon.
He just became aware of Creighton just recently.
Yeah, that was shocking.
He's like, wait, there's
when I moved here
school?
and I was like, Creighton is in Omaha?
What's all that stuff going on over there? You don't mean the small town Creighton? That's not. Oh, okay. I didn't know
that did confuse me the first couple of times.
I didn't
Why
know
are they
there was
playing
another
Creighton?
one.
That didn't make any sense.
This is like an exhibition.
What is Arlington doing out there?
You know,
Nebraska's playing Creighton. That's weird.
You know, it was a problem, especially if he was guarding LeBron. JJ Barea.
Oh my God, you're gonna say that?
Puerto
Not
Rican
Boris
king.
Diaw?
So I was gonna say Boris
Boris
Diaw.
Diaw would have been a great pick.
I thought it was too deep of a cut for you.
No,
Boris.
I would have loved Boris Diaw.
I love Boris Diaw. That's
Yeah.
my guy.
You want one that I feel like you actually liked him?
Who?
Tiago Splitter.
I hate
Current
Tiago
coach.
Splitter.
Current coach.
I hate Tiago Splitter.
Why do you hate
Love
Tiago
Tiago
Splitter?
I hate Tiago Splitter.
Take it back.
I don't. He's a very
Remember
good
that one
coach.
time he blocked LeBron during the AC game? That was great.
I remember that one time he got his shit absolutely stuffed in by LeBron in a game that probably would have changed the series for San Antonio in 2013.
You've been swearing a lot more since DB left. Why is that?
He really has.
You got a lot of emotions or
My
something?
bad. We'll work on it. We'll try and clean it up for the kids.
We'll work on it.
We'll work on it. You all right over there?
We'll work on it.
Do you get something in your mouth like your furry costume or something?
All
Are you
right,
okay?
all right. That's too far. That's too far. Why are you doing that? Why are you picking on him? What did he do?
Can you say it like a Southern guy?
You guys just go foghorn right away. Every time you have to bring up the gumption of a Southern drawl, you're just asa. What are you doing?
Well, I mean, there's another thing I could, but I don't want to.
What's that?
Nothing.
You good?
It's from a movie.
Go to break. Go to break before we get canceled.
Kobe hits us with the Festus Ezeli.
Oh,
That's a great one.
I don't know if he was a problem, but man, that's a name.
Oh, that is great.
Festus for the rest.
Hashim Thabit, only at UConn.
Lee said Richie Incognito was a problem. Yeah, maybe a few problems.
That's, I think, a good place to drop it. Lincoln Arneal coming up next to talk a little volleyball here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
The AVCA preseason poll is here, and Nebraska is number 1. The Huskers have been ranked at the top to start the season in 3 of the last 5 years. And who's at number 2? That would be Texas. So this makes a 1 versus 2 matchup in Las Vegas on August 30th at 2:30 p.m. on Fox. That'll be just the second regular season match of the season for Nebraska, and it's going to feel like a national championship. In fact, this is the first time these two teams have faced each other since that 2023 title match where the Huskers were swept. There's no doubt that Nebraska is the favorite to win all this season, and these preseason ranks, they just made that Texas rivalry match even sweeter.
Michael Jackson. Yeah, so every time you get a kill, you'd be like, hee hee.
Probably Lana Del Rey. She's been my answer all day. I feel like such a bot, but Lana Del Rey. Michael Jordan, easy answer. I love MJ. So if Michael Jordan could come to my game, that would be a highlight of my life for sure.
Kevin Hart. I think that's what was my answer the last 2 years. I want Kevin Hart to come.
I've been going a lot with Zendaya today, just because she's one of my favorite actors, songwriters, everything. She does everything, modeling.
Oh my gosh, Billie Eilish. I love Billie Eilish to death.
Jason Sudeikis and Paul Rudd, because they do a lot of stuff in Kansas City with the Royals, and so I think it would be cool if they came.
I would have to say either Rihanna or LeBron.
Say Louis Tomlinson, One Direction's ex-singer, yeah.
Steph Curry. Please let me know. Hit me up. I met you a couple months ago. We'll be in touch.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's Austin. I'm Ravi here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We are joined now by Lincoln Arneal. He's a writer for Huskers Illustrated, and he hosts the Volleyball State podcast. Lincoln, how are we doing this morning?
Gentlemen, doing all right. Got my run in, ready to go for the day.
Bang, Lincoln. That's a great way to start the day. That's an excellent way. How was your day yesterday? Did you wait on pins and needles for the AVCA poll, or is this kind of what you expected it to look like?
I put out my own personal top 16 on Sunday, and I like to say I got all 16 matched AVCA. There's a couple teams that were different, so but yes, it was a lot of waiting, seeing if I get early access to it maybe, or just kind of figuring out, talking amongst other volleyball people of what we thought it would look like. So it's here. Let the talking season continue, and it's all going to be rendered irrelevant here in about a week and a half.
Yeah, and just in that same sense too, obviously a lot of people expect Nebraska to be the number one. They get the majority of the first place votes. Were you surprised at the gap between them and Texas, or did you think that there would be more first place votes going other places, or what was kind of your evaluation of that?
The one surprise was that Kentucky got more first place votes than Texas. Kentucky had, I think, three or four, and then Texas had one, and then Texas A&M got a token one as the defending champion. So that maybe was more of a surprise. In my mind, I thought Texas was number two. The SEC coaches disagreed with me with their preseason poll, but I just think that Texas has a lot of firepower, and they could run a 6-2 and not blink with the not drop off in any level. So I think Texas is really going to be good. It makes that Las Vegas match all the more juicier.
Does it make the SEC more interesting to you now that you have the rankings and polls? Do you feel like it's funny because we've talked so much college football that it's the Big Ten versus the SEC, but in volleyball it's kind of the same way. And I think some people can make an argument the SEC is maybe the stronger conference right now.
Well, we actually had Emily Eman on our podcast this week too. We had the same discussion that it depends on how you want to measure it too. I think the top 3 or 4 SEC teams really are on par with the top of the Big Ten. But once you get past those 4, it's a little bit of a drop off. Florida's there a little bit. Tennessee can be competitive, but the lower part of in the kind of the middle part of the SEC, Missouri will be okay, I think. When Nebraska fans will find that out soon enough. But I think once you look at that top row, you got the Kentucky, Texas A&M, and some other teams there that they're really on par with Wisconsin, Nebraska, Penn State, Purdue, or all kind of those top teams are really, really on par with each other. And I'm really excited to see some of those SEC Big Ten Challenge matchups.
Lincoln, as you're putting together your top 16 and as you're looking at the AVCA preseason poll as well, do you kind of go down a list and kind of put a line somewhere and say, hey, this is where I put the line of demarcation for actual national title contenders versus sort of everybody else?
I think once you get outside the top 10, I think is really kind of where there's one of those line of demarcations, I think. And really, to me, which is telling that I got the exact same 16 as the AVCA, that I think that 16 is another really big drop as far as talent level. But to win a national title, I think you look at, I think Nebraska, Wisconsin, Kentucky, those type of teams. And then you get, to me, there's some teams in the middle there of that kind of the lower teams, like Purdue's in there. SMU could be in there too. I have a lot of questions about what's going to happen for them at setter. But there's other teams in there. I think Stanford they lost their best player from last year too, but they got a lot of talent. They were number 5 in the polls, and some people think that's a little bit too high, but I think they're going to get by with that high level across the board rather than relying on one stud to carry their offense. So I think, Texas A&M, they lost a lot of players. They bring some significant pieces back too, but I think if things come together for them, they could make another charge late in the season. But I think they're kind of on that threshold of they deserve to be in the conversation, but they got some things to prove early on.
A two-parter for you. You keep mentioning your top 16. In that 16, who do you think has the highest probability of dropping the furthest by the time that we hit the last bowl of the season? And outside of your 16, who do you think has the chance to maybe garner their way into the top 16 for you by the time we hit the end of December?
I think as far as dropping, a lot of the times that has to deal with injuries. It's hard to predict that, but it's who doesn't have the depth to deal with that. Kansas, I think, is a lot of question marks. They were barely in my top. I think they were 15th or 16th. So they have a lot of question marks. They get Reese Messer, who's a Kansas City native player who played with USC last year. I think she's going to do wonders for them. But they lost a couple of significant big hitters to the transfer portal. As far as playing in, I think that USC could be good too. They got some questions of. Again, they lost Reese Messer as setter. Who's going to take her spot too? But they got a lot of firepower. London Weejay, Mia Turverdi, Papillion native as well too, can do some good things. So I think USC could surprise some teams. They finished, I think, tied for 3rd last year in the Big Ten. They're top 5 for sure, and really took some people by surprise. But they're a solid team, and I think they could play themselves into hosting that first weekend in the tournament.
Lincoln, where do you rank or kind of rate Alexis Stuckey transferring to Penn State and sort of impact transfers on teams that could possibly be playing for a national title?
I think she's one of the definitely top 3, I think, of big difference makers too. You look at what Penn State did too. They were above average. They were good, but not a great team last year too. There's only so much Kennedy Martin can do. I think the whole Izzy Stark situation threw their team into a tailspin. And there's another player who's probably on that difference maker transfers. But at Penn State, I think Alexis Stuckey has that rapport with Kennedy Martin. And it really can elevate their offensive game a little bit too. I think they were a little over-reliant on Martin last year. Part of that was just a little bit of inconsistency from their other pin hitters too. So I think Stuckey will raise the floor a little bit for the rest of the Nittany Lions too. They still have a lot of questions, I think, in the back row as far as passing and who's going to play libero for them too. So they got some other questions to answer as well too. But as far as their offense goes, Stuckey is definitely a difference maker, and she should keep them move Penn State back into that top 4 of the Big Ten Conference.
In that same sense, Lincoln, looking at outside of the top 3 from Nebraska, Texas, Kentucky, do you think between Pittsburgh, Stanford, Wisconsin, or Louisville, who reloaded the most, that if you shoehorned those top 3 into a Final Four, which of that next group do you think has enough to make it into that 4th spot?
I think they all have enough talent. So who's going to do it? I think Wisconsin has the highest ceiling. I think Charlie Furbringer is probably one of the best setters, and is going to give Bergen Riley a run for her money for Big Ten Setter of the Year and AVCA Setter of the Year as well too. And just look at the arms. They have a freshman coming in, Delicia Champion. She reclassified from being a 2027 to a 2026. So I think she's entering school. She's not there yet. She's playing with the Puerto Rican national team, but she's going to be a 16-year-old as she starts Wisconsin. She'll soon turn 17, but She is 6'6", been playing over in Italy, been playing with the Puerto Rican senior national team, is just an absolute athletic freak. And it depends on how they kind of ease her in too, but they have a lot of other champions. They had a close scrimmage, saw the stats like Audrey Flanagan. Jalen August is one of the bigger, she was an All-American transfer from Florida, is another one of those transfers who can make immediate impact too. So I think Wisconsin probably has the highest ceiling, but this is, again, among that group of 4 too. Pitt every year finds a way to make that Final Four because Olivia Babcock is probably the best player in college volleyball, has won the AVCA Player of the Year the last 2 years too, and to get Izzy Stark, who was National Freshman of the Year a couple years ago, really should help elevate her game. And hopefully, again, kind of like we talked about Alexis Stuckey, is get more out of the rest of the team to help balance Olivia Babcock. But Babcock is such a difference maker. It's hard to take your eyes off her when she's on the court too, because she can kill the ball from anywhere and is just an absolute weapon from the service line as well.
Lincoln, I know you answered it a little bit with Ravi. I just want to pick your brain a little further on it. But how do you take the preseason poll or your top 16 and you put them into different tiers as maybe surefire championship contenders? You probably put Nebraska, Texas, Kentucky up there. Is there another tier with that second group we just mentioned? Is there a third tier below there? Like, how do you distinguish some of those different groups within the 16 that you like?
Yeah, I think definitely those are top 3. I think that Nebraska, Kentucky, and Texas have the most well-rounded teams. They return a lot of starters, All-Americans. Kentucky got a big transfer from Notre Dame and the outside hitter to complement Brooklyn DeLay. So I think those 3 are the most complete. Then that next tier, the Stanford, Wisconsin, Pittsburgh, Purdue, I think what I would put in there too, Louisville as well too. I think they're kind of that next tier of national championship hunters. They all have a little bit of a question mark of things they need to sort out, whether it's figuring out a starter, making sure putting in a new setter, or just figuring out who their second, third pin attacker is going to be. So I think that's definitely the next group. And then you kind of get to that third group is a lot of teams like SMU. I think Creighton belongs in that group as well too. Indiana, to me, is in that group. Arizona State probably is in that group as well too, of teams that have the talent, that if things go right, they click well, they get one of those transcendent stars, those all-conference player of the year type of players, that they can really do that. And I talk a lot about the top 16 because that's a very important threshold, because that means you're hosting that first weekend. So that, to me, is why I put a lot of emphasis on that. And later on, we do 900 square foot media poll members. We rank the top 16 because I think that's a very important threshold for teams that want to play that first weekend at home and get that big advantage in the postseason.
You talked about Creighton being in that third tier. What in the first 2 weeks would you want to see that would put them closer to the top of the third or into that second tier for you?
They got a brand new setter from Kansas, Katie, blanking on her name, Katie. But I think that because I didn't get a chance to see her in the spring because she was still finishing up her graduate studies.
Oh, Dalton.
Yes, Katie Dalton. Yeah, thank you, from Kansas. But she's now with the team too. So I think, I mean, Creighton has shown a lot the last couple of years too, of especially as Annalise Madar last year, of really kind of getting her into the system very quickly. So I think that getting her involved with the offense too, and then also who's going to step up at pin hitter a little bit too. You saw Jaylee Johnson looked pretty good too, and I mean, for all what she's done off the volleyball court too, Trinity Shad shares. I think she's just another athletic freak too, of what they can do, and then how Aiden Ames kind of gets that, because that's that one connection with the setter Dalton to Ames. I think is going to be a very important part of what Creighton wants to do. So I think that once I get a chance to see Creighton kind of full strength, but not that we got to see that in the spring too. I think Brian Rosen knows how to build the culture there too, and Creighton has proven to get newcomers involved in the team system very quickly too. So that's what I'm looking forward to in the first couple of weeks with the Blue Jays.
Lincoln, one of the teams we conspicuously kind of have not talked about yet is Nebraska. I think we feel like we know a lot about them already. Obviously, with the returners, you get year 2 of DBK. What's something with Nebraska that we're not thinking about that maybe we should be?
To me, I mean, they've talked about this a little bit, but it's serving, using serving as a weapon. I think Nebraska has been very low air as far as getting their serves in, but I think sometimes that results in a little passivity. And you see what's been Nebraska's Achilles heel loss. I mean, whenever they have lost, is that teams are very aggressive with their serve, and that can take Nebraska out. So I think if Nebraska can flip the tables a little bit and be a little more aggressive with their serve, I think that'll be something to watch too. I mean, I don't know how many years in a row fans are wanting for another a jump server to go back there and do a little top spin action. So I think that what Nebraska does with their serve will be interesting, or if they kind of just play slightly above aggressive and are willing to live with a few more service errors, but I think it could result in a little bit more points on their side as they force the other teams to play out of system a little bit and scramble on offense. So to me, the serving, I think too, and then there's position battles all over the court. But I think what we saw from DBK last year is that she's going to play a lot of people, and position battles may not necessarily be battles, it's just more timeshares and kind of figuring out the best combination of ways to keep people fresh and get them playing time.
Lincoln, even just the way you just answered that, just about the way DBK's coaching style is, the amount of players that they have, maybe that nullifies what I'll ask you, but is this the most pressure that a senior class has faced in Nebraska volleyball, just with everything that they've gone through from the beginning of their tenures, the promises and some of the things that have been publicly said, and then the expectation that continues to grow for them? Has there been another time that you can remember covering Nebraska or just in the volleyball landscape that a senior class that's like what we see at Nebraska this year has faced in basically national championship or nothing else?
Yeah, the only time that I think about maybe was just a couple of years ago too, when you had that first Dream Team class. We had Lexi Rodriguez, Ali Batenhorst, Lindsay Krause, and Kennedy Orr. I mean, they came in very ballyhooed, lots of Player of the Year, and kind of were the start of that Dream Team concept of we'll come in, recruit you when you're 8th grade freshman in high school, and you get those 3-4 year commitments. And they came in very talented. And I think it was a little bit disappointment, especially for Lexi Rodriguez, who's maybe one of the all-time greats at Nebraska, to not leave with a national championship. So that's the only thing that's comparable. But this is a unique group where you have 3 full-time 4-year starters. I mean, they have, I think, between Riley, Jackson, and Murray, you have, 8 All-American awards. I mean, Lainey Choboy has been a starter and defensive specialist from day one as well, too, and been playing part-time libero, mostly libero last year as well. So you feel like making the national title game their freshman year too, and then kind of regressing just one round each year too. You're waiting for that breakthrough to be there, but the consistency they've shown, I think, to lose only 6 games in their 3 years so far has been really spectacular, and very few programs have matched that before. But I think, there is that hope and kind of expectation, but that desire to send them out on a strong note to kind of put that one missing achievement on their resume and put the argument to rest and send them out champions. I think ever since they lost that Texas match too, they've been itching for another shot, have just fallen short the last couple of years.
Lincoln, you mentioned a couple of 4-year starters there. How interesting, and I guess how crazy do you think the portal decisions are going to start to be with the 5-for-5 ruling, where we thought this is going to be the last ride? It maybe won't be for this group of seniors or 4th-year player. I don't even know what to call them anymore at Nebraska, where you might have another go at this that just a few months ago we thought this was going to be the last ride.
Yeah. The one thing that's interesting that's different than the last time we had the 5th year with COVID is that now there's a strict 18-player cap, where previously there was no cap. You could, if teams want to have 21, 22 players, they could, because those returning players didn't count towards their scholarship limits. But now I think DBK is in a very interesting predicament too, where you have those 4 seniors who have won All-American awards, who have been the culture setters and to be the brand of college volleyball. But you also have a 5-player class that's coming in. So something's got to give, whether they're not returning or transfer portal, or they break commitments to these high schoolers that are planning to come in, because I think Nebraska's at 16 players right now, and they have 4 seniors and they have 5 potential incoming freshmen that the math doesn't add up there too. So something's got to give between either staying or going, or the transfer portal. But I mean, we'll see what decisions. And every time we've talked to them, they said they haven't made a decision. I don't think it's going to be completely contingent on how the season goes too, but that could play a factor too, that if they win a title, what else they have left to prove. I know LA 2028 Olympics is off in the distance as well too, and some of them may have designs to want to be part of the national team or try to get on the national team or start their pro development careers. And if they win a national title, what else is there to prove? I mean, yes, there's money to be made, there's legacies to continue to be built, but I think that for Nebraska is in a different predicament, I think, than a lot of other schools with the way that their recruiting machine is set up to really replace and rebuild on the fly, and not necessarily is dependent on building 4-year starters. And when they get that, it's amazing. It does wonders for their potential of the program, but they're not dependent on getting players to stick around for that 5th year to really reach the heights of the program.
Lincoln, is there a chance that those 5th-year conversations have already happened, decisions are already made, or do you think that this is something that's contingent on, like you said, a national championship or how this season ends up for those notable seniors?
I think that, I mean, they're approaching it like this is their last, which I think is the right way, because you don't want to say, oh yeah, I'm definitely coming back, and then circumstances change or they need to hit the transfer portal, which I think would be a weird predicament if especially one of those 4s has to go to the portal. I mean, definitely they're having conversations. I know Jalen Racis has a radio show where he's talked about this too, that when that started to first be circulated as this is a potential, this is probable, this is likely to happen. I mean, they're always having that. This is what the coaches are paid to worry about. They have a big recruiting board, a roster board, where they're trying to project and figure out what the team is going to look like in 2027, 2028, 2029, of how the scholarship allotment works, what the roster, I mean, what those 18 roster spots are going to look like. So I think that none of this should come as a surprise. I don't know, but I talked to Andy Jackson about when she wants to make that decision, and she's kind of unsure. Like, I think by late November, probably, because I think they'll go through senior night too, but we've seen now that senior night may not always be the last hoorah for some of these players too. So we'll see what that's like. And I mean, every player that I talked to at Big Ten Media Day last week was kind of like, oh, I'm focused on now. I'm focused on here. I think the only player that I've seen that's come out that's definitely said I'm coming back next year is Chloe Chacoin at Louisville, where she says I'm in for this year, I'm in for next year. But I think a lot of players are waiting towards after that. So we'll see. I would expect a lot of these decisions to be made by early to mid-November, because again, the transfer portal is going to open up in December, and coaches need to know what they're losing, what they need, and we've got a lot of players of eligibility now. I mean, there could be mass chaos with the transfer portal. So I would expect a lot of decisions to be made by October, early November.
Lincoln, last one from me, and that start of the non-conference slate now confirms exactly. I know you wrote your piece for Huskers Illustrated that part of that AVCA poll coming out was that now we can confirm it's a 1 versus 2 in the non-conference, and Nebraska is going to have some of those high-quality matchups and unique venues and locations. Our own Anna Bellinghausen on our Nebraska preview show did a little bit of a piece on talking about how big she thinks those events will be for growing the sport of volleyball. What's your expectation? Do you have one for maybe that television output, or if that's something that could grow the national conversation even further, just with Nebraska's brand, the teams that they're playing, and now the rankings that have come with it?
Yeah, I mean, even though it's an exhibition match, I think that the Cowboy Stadium match is going to have a big impact because it's a Thursday night. There's not a lot of other sports going on too. And that's one thing we saw with the Memorial Stadium match is that that was a Wednesday night, late August, where Nebraska kind of owned the sporting worlds too. And it's amazing how many ripple effects that it's had too. And I think we're too close to the bubble and don't realize it, but kind of the casual fans who may not know much about volleyball or just learning about it are getting exposed to it. So I think that's where that Dallas match, even though it's an exhibition, being the fact that it's played in Cowboy Stadium, which a lot of people know worldwide, just kind of the notoriety of the Dallas Cowboys and the NFL. So I think that may be an outsized impact. And then I think hopefully they get to, I'm still very optimistic and hopeful they'll get to play Wrigley Field, because I think that'll be another cool one where you get to play in this historic venue where the Cubs have been, and the stadium's been around for more than 100 years. So it's those kind of things I think will really kind of get the casual fans in there too, and kind of the notoriety. I mean, yes, the number 1-2 matchup will get a lot of people excited too, but sometimes you go outside of the norm, you play in a different venue, it gets a little more notoriety that will help expose more people to the game of volleyball and make it more talking point. Because I'm still impressed by the number of casuals and just kind of people that are now Nebraska volleyball fans that started following because of the Memorial Stadium match too. So I think that this preseason non-conference slate will have a big impact for the sport too. And I'm glad to see that they're continuing to try and push the bar.
That is Lincoln Arneal from Huskers Illustrated and the Volleyball State Podcast. Lincoln, appreciate the time as always. We'll talk again soon.
Ravi, Austin, it's a pleasure. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks, Lincoln.
That is Lincoln Arneal. You can follow his work over at Huskers Illustrated as a writer or on the Volleyball State Podcast as well. Good stuff there from Lincoln.
Fall's right around the corner. I did Camp Confidential yesterday. I go to Creighton Prep tonight.
Wait, so where did you go for Camp Confidential?
I was at Milford Volleyball yesterday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Rottenberg.
Yeah, she hype mugged me really bad.
I saw that. Yeah, that's tough.
That was really tough.
How tall is she?
I think she's 6'3", 6'2".
She looked taller, honestly.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Yeah.
I mean,
hold on. I'll figure this out right now.
I'll say, can we look it up?
I think she is 6'.
Well, I mean, Austin's 6'2", so she's got to be at least 6'5".
Seemed like she was really trying to out-angle you. It was not cool.
Well, this doesn't help at all. USA Volleyball says she's either 6'3" or 6'4". What do you mean either?
Maybe one.
Just say 6'3.5".
Maybe one's three. Maybe one's shoes. Maybe one's no shoes.
Yeah. No, she's
great.
tall.
That's very tall.
She's great.
Yeah,
She's
you have a good
awesome.
time. Good conversation.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. There's not many times that I get to go just because scheduling and all that other stuff that I just get to go and watch a practice and everything. Yeah. But yeah, now I know why Sauter's addicted to it.
Just go hang out in Milford.
Yeah, it was good. I took our photographer Jacobsen. They have a drive-through Runza there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was incredibly inefficient. We were in line for a long time.
I mean, most Runzas have drive-throughs?
No, this was only a drive-through.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh. So
it was just like a small little hut.
So like a scooter's hut of a Runza.
Yes. Yeah, very good way to put that.
Have you been to the one in David City?
No, I've never been to David City.
It's like,
I have.
See, here's the thing. This is what happens. Someone will be like, "Oh, have you ever been here?" And I'll say, "No." And they're like, "What do you mean? Aren't you the small town boy? You're just from wherever?" No, I can't go to every damn town that's in the state. Like I can't go to all the places. Okay, I try.
You could.
I could.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
What voice was that? What voice was that you were doing?
That's my city folk Nebraskan voice. What it is.
Put some lotion on the skin.
I never said that. He's the gimp guy. Make fun of him. What the fuck?
I actually have been to David City.
For what? Just hanging out?
Funeral.
At least we started the show on a negative note and we ended on a circle.
Did Austin give you some clothes for that?
He did not. We're not the same
Do you
size.
think there's any clothes that we could fit in of each other's?
I mean, you could fit in my clothes. They'd be too big for you, but you could fit in them.
I could DB it.
You could DB
I should
it.
DB it.
Give me
big long sleeve.
I'm going to give you this. You could be Miller North DB with the well-oversized long sleeves.
Austin, are you just publicly saying you're trying to get in Robbie's pants?
Wow. Easy perv.
Yeah, seriously, furry.
Wow.
Why don't you get on out of here? But we still got time, Shane. We have 3 minutes. We're perfectly
ending it on that, I guess.
We're not ending. We're not ending the show.
You
we got
have
3
to
minutes.
end on that.
No, we don't.
You got to get the hell out of here because of that.
We don't got to do anything we don't want
Listen,
to.
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid.
You going to keep talking about it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep every time you play the music earlier than I want you to, I'm gonna keep you for like an extra 5 minutes.
We're gonna extend.
It's
called
Anyway, the David City Runza is like in the middle of like a strip of buildings, and you like drive through like underneath and into like a tunnel, and then there's the drive-through.
That's cool.
I think we need more tunnel drive-throughs. I'd be a fan of that.
I've done in Fremont. There's a liquor store where you drive into like a garage, and you tell the person what you want, and they just like grab it for you and come to your car and load it into your car. It's kind of nice.
Like a drive-through liquor store?
I mean, no, kind of.
That seems like it could be problematic.
Kind of, but
what, like jugs of stuff there or what?
no, I mean they have
Not
like
everything's
regular
about
stuff.
jugs, Shane.
Yeah. Okay, all right, come on, don't pick on Shane. He didn't do that.
I mean, they're not pouring it into a cup for you, so I think
Yeah. This isn't Pete Ricketts COVID, all right? He's not just giving margaritas and drive-thrus.
They're not like, oh, here's your large.
Which, by the way, we need to bring that back. Margaritas and drive-thrus rocked.
Sure, yeah.
Less people on the roads, though. I understand what you're saying. What was COVID like here?
Nobody
out? Nobody doing anything?
The traffic was dramatically less.
Were you still out rooting and tooting?
Not a ton. I'd worked from home at the time, so I didn't do much.
That's
I wasn't going out a ton.
Hmm.
It was the streets. I will say
the streets.
The one thing I miss about COVID was
less people at the tennis court.
There was no traffic. There was no
gas. I filled up my tank one time in Lexington for 95 cents a gallon. It was incredible.
That's insane. We should do this where we take some sort of horrible national negative event and be like, what do we miss about this?
Okay, you go first. I named mine. Name yours.
Yeah, I missed the lack of traffic during COVID. It was incredible.
Rico, would you like to name a national tragedy?
What do you miss about Pearl Harbor, Rico?
He wants to say one, and I know he's worried about it. He wants to say one, and I know which one he's thinking about. It's not the Challenger either. That's right.
I don't
don't say anything, Rico.
I'm bad at this one too. Name a dude. Name a national tragedy. I got
nothing. Lee says yes. There's a lot of drive-through liquor stores in Texas. That makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
No, I thought it was cool because like they were like, oh nope, stay in your car.
Kenny
we'll
says,
just pay this and be
Kenny
fine.
says I missed the social distancing.
I missed going to the mall parking lot and having somebody test me for COVID with just rolling down my window.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah, it was a strange time.
I don't miss really a whole lot of things about COVID, but the prices were incredible. That was really fun. Everything seemed pretty cheap. I enjoyed that. But then everything was delayed, and I did not like that.
Kenny says, stay 6 feet away from me, hippies.
And furries.
I miss how everyone just thought, hey, we clearly are just going to have explosive diarrhea. We have to go get all the toilet paper.
That was a great time because when it hit Kearney, we only have 4 or 5 grocery stores in town. People were, it's not the Apple Market. Get to Hy-Vee. Crazy.
That was the first time I'd ever seen Sam's Club like not have something.
You a Sam's Club guy? You're not a Costco guy?
Costco's on the other side of town.
Oh, okay.
Wow, tough look.
Yeah, it's tough. I hit both because they're both near me. I roll like that. Sam's Club has way better
membership.
Double membership guy.
Oh yeah.
How much are we paying you?
Wow,
too much now.
What does Sam's have that Costco doesn't?
Sam's got a better soda selection. You can get a lot more diet sodas and stuff out there.
Can I get Fresco over there?
I'll check for you. Here, hold on. You filibuster for me. I'll look at the app.
See if we can get a little
also like their
Fresco.
app a lot better. The Sam's Club app's way better.
Okay, fair. I can appreciate that.
Do they have a liquor drive up?
They do not have the liquor drive up.
I will say Costco very much seems like, hey, we're trying to get you into the store with with their website.
I really tried my hardest to not go to the Costco food court every time that I go, but it's damn near impossible.
Why would you not have just one of the
because the problem
simplest
is
pleasures of life, a 150 Costco hot dog.
But see, the
I understand like Costco has like the hot dog and the chicken bacon, everything, whatever. The pizza at Sam's Club, like the 3-meat pizza.
I don't know. Listen.
No, okay, listen. Now you're losing me. You're losing me now.
Pizza's better.
It's great.
So I will say, this is the one place I think this is true. I will take a Costco cheese slice of pizza over the pepperoni.
With you.
The cheese pizza is better. Also, it's better in the slices than in the whole pie. I don't know what the difference is.
I agree.
But like the slices of pizza are better than the whole pie.
That is true.
But the cheese pizza by the slice at Costco is like the perfect like 90s nostalgia pizza. Like the cheese is immaculate.
Does it remind you of Sbarro's in the mall?
No, it reminds me of peak 90s Pizza Hut when I was a kid getting my booklet.
Red cup.
Yeah, the red cup, the buffet. Oh, it's like the cheese consistency is almost identical to old school Pizza Hut.
I do not see Fresca at Sam's Club nor Costco.
What, Brandon, did you say something?
We should bring Book It back. They don't do that.
They are, I think, bringing Book It back.
In some way, shape, or form? Yeah.
I heard they are bringing Book It back.
I don't mind a personal pizza. It's never I'm an adult now, so I need more, but
I'm a man.
I used to work at Target in Kearney, and I would help out in the Pizza Hut over there. And I would make those little personal pizzas.
Mm-hmm.
It was really great when like they were like, "Oh, it's past the time. You have to throw it out." Like it's not bad. I had a lot of pizzas. A lot of personal pizzas.
Yep.
That sounds very Damon-like.
Did that slow you down for your MIAA track meets?
Dominic,
no, it did not. It was back when I was actually running, so I was still in shape. I was able to run those pizzas off.
Dominic, that's a deep pull, man, and it's dark.
Oh no.
I will say I admitted to my mom actually over the weekend. I go, Mom, I don't know why we were talking about Book It, but I was like, Mom, I'm not gonna keep this from you any longer. I lied about some of those pages I read. may not have earned all of my Book It stickers.
We did the Book It stickers and stuff like that too, but we also had the AR reading points. I don't know if you had the AR points. So you had to have a certain amount of points by the end of each like quarter or semester to be able to say like, oh, I read enough or whatever. So being the good Catholic I am, I would just take my AR test on the King James Bible. And as long as you got a 60%, you got all the points. And so I would end up in the top category because the bigger the book, like the more points you would get for it. So I would end up reading this book that I don't even know what the points were, like 300 points. And so I would always end up in the top 3 of my class every year because I was just reading the Bible. What did Jonah get stuck in? A whale. Bang.
Bro, stat padding the Bible.
I was.
I mean, depends on what translation. Might just be a big fish, but it's okay.
All right.
Matt says any pizza is a personal pizza if you believe in yourself.
That was me on Sunday night. Finished every single slice. I think I left like 1 or 2.
Well, you had other food though too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did a Whopper and I did some crazy bread in there too.
That's aggressive.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't really eat that day, so
Okay.
I had some
Fair
eggs in the
enough.
morning. Got my protein.
Back when they were like 99 cents, those Totino's pizza.
Oh.
That's a personal pizza.
I was never a fan. I was never a fan of the square ones, right?
No,
they were round.
Yeah, they were they squares at the time.
At one point, they were square.
Okay.
But they
were
became
squares
round
at that time. Yeah.
they became round.
Yeah, no, I was never a fan of
You
those.
were the big Totino's
I
guy?
don't like. I'm not a fan of Red Baron. I don't like Jack's. DiGiorno's a good one.
So you don't like the cheap ones?
So DiGiorno?
No, it's not. It's not that they're cheap. I just like it's the crust. The crust is too thin for me.
Oh, see, I like the thin crust.
Yeah,
I'd rather
see-
have that over the DiGiorno.
I like the crunch.
My fiance loves like a cracker crust. Like that's like her go-to. She loves
That
a
makes
bar
sense.
style and she loves a cracker crust.
I do love a bar.
Fiance loves a
I know
cracker.
what you're trying to say, and you're not going to get that. All right, knock it off.
Cracker crust better than a crusty cracker. Am I right?
Shane, play the music. I want out of here
Is it okay, Ravi?
Yeah, go ahead.
because now people are going to start calling me that.
The crusty cracker.
Cracker crust. I'm just gonna call you Cece.
Sabathia?
Oh,
It's too big of a name. Doesn't count.
he doesn't
Too big of
count.
a name.
He doesn't
Too big
count.
of a name.
People do
Skinny
forget though. Skinny CC?
like Cleveland Cece.
No.
So the skinny version of an athlete, we should consider for like a dude because usually the bigger like skinny
Fat Kevin Love is better.
Listen, skinny Jared Lorenzen, not that big of a problem. Big Jared Lorenzen, problem.
You know who was a problem when he was skinny, but not as big of a problem as when he was big?
Stop. Don't say it.
Miguel Cabrera.
Okay. Ooh, I thought you were going to say quarterback. My bad.
No, Miguel Cabrera. Skinny Miggy, pretty good. Fat Miggy, triple crown. That's Austin. I'm Ravi. We'll be back tomorrow. Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.